Another video. We're live. That's my coffee pot. Like my dad says, I've been up for 2 hours now. Wow, I lost my train of thought just that quick. I'm trying out the streaming platform. If you're not going to be able to hear me, we'll see what's going on. And I'll just go live over on YouTube. Right now, I'm checking the YouTube channel, making sure everything is running right. Let everybody know that we live. We're about to see. There ought to be some people. There's 2 people now. Hey, Gordon, can you hear me? Oh, yeah. That's why I'm 4 minutes late getting here. Gordon, that's why I'm four minutes late. I kind of like this midnight shit. Ain't nobody up but us. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. I tried to use this platform the other day. This is the one Massalorian and them use as well. And it wasn't working right for the past week. And I said, fuck it, let me try it now. And it is. Stirring the pot this morning. Y'all know what today is, huh? Does anybody know what today is? Is there a deadline that has to be met today? Does anybody know? Yeah, 420. What's up? X Cruz, Star, Stewart. No Vaseline, you ain't lying. Oh my God. Sir Holdington. What a cool name. Tell me about it. Listen, I was sitting here and I'm thinking, what am I going to talk about tonight? And as y'all know, if you watched my video from earlier, the documents show that they tried to hide and seal, and the judge made them unseal it. It shows that Ape was being sold by Adam Aaron in 2020. And not only was it being sold, it was getting paid a dividend that AMC shareholders, that money that paid that dividend came from AMC. So then, therefore, you have defrauded the shareholders by not telling them about this preferred shares that you had sold. And in February 2020, you decide, hey, I'll pay a dividend on it. Who got the dividend? I know now I've tracked down some of the people who own it. I'm watching them all. John, I'm watching them all. I stay updated. I guess we might know the answer to one of his questions concerning where are they getting 400 million. They've been selling apes, people. And I got some stuff lined out up top. I'll be able to share my screen tonight. Let's just get a couple people in here first. Space 8. To who? The White House. You must not live in this country, or you would not know. You would realize how ridiculous trying to contact our White House would be. I was able to track down some of it. How many people here right now? I'm just gonna feel around. We'll kick it a little bit. I'm gonna try to get at least 100 people in here to see what we're gonna be talking about, because it's good. How many people familiar with Wanda? The Wanda Group used to own AMC, but we ended up buying it all back from them or canceling out their Class B shares. Wanda, y'all remember them? Well, Wanda was one of the originals in AMC, and they didn't just have common stock. They had Class B common stock. And hey, owning the float, you can jump in if you want. Let me see how I do this. Copy that. Damn, how do I get it over there to you now? Oh, I could post it in my Discord. Y'all hold on just a minute. Let me try to get on and float in here. All right, now, boy, you got to go through some shit, huh? Oh, that's my brokerage account. Copy the link. Owning the float, I'm sending you the link. Man, fuck all that. Here, I'm going to do it like this. Owning the float, it's in the chat. If owning the float, if you want to come on, look in the chat right there, and you'll see the link. All you got to do is click it. Wanda, what happened with Wanda is kind of a hard and long story. I remember back in the day, which was 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, Pantheon did a video on Wanda and how they had controlling interests of AMC. They had what was called Class B common shares. All right. AMC has 3 securities. It has the Class A common, it has the Class B common, and it has the preferred equity shares. All right. Now, Wanda owned the owned the common shares B. The difference between common shares B and A were that common share B, which is what Wanda owned, had 3 votes per share. So Wanda, in essence, owned AMC because they had controlling voting interest. And they had that through the Class B shares. Now, there came a time when AMC and Wanda come to an agreement and they do whatever they did, which I'm finding out what they've done. They canceled out the Class B. So now we only have 2 types of securities. We have the Class A common and we have the 5 billion apes. Okay, that's important to understand, people. There are 5 billion apes. Each depositary share is worth 1/100th, which means each share of preferred sends out 100 little apes into the market, each one. So that's where you get 50 million preferred shares. You get 5 billion ape shares. But we've only sold 1 billion. Well, you've only sold 500 million, and you gave 500 million as a dividend. Yes, they took on the debt to pay Wanda. That's where a lot of the 5 billion comes from, is from the situation with Wanda. What happened? Well, let me see, let me pull up the right one. Going through this document. So everybody's familiar with the Wanda situation. Y'all realize that was when? Let me look at the date so I'm not wrong. 2020. All right. In 2020, the Wanda situation happened. It just now come to a head. Yeah, I seen that motherfucker. Look, I sat there, man. And well, let me just stop for a second before I lose my train of thought. Let me share my screen and let me show y'all what I see. Is look at this shit. All right, now here is where in 2018 the Wanda and all the notes come into play. All right, now Wanda here, it says, had convertible notes due 2024, would result in 5,666,000 shares of company's Class B common stock and 5,666,000 AMC preferred equity units. This was part of Wanda's package. Y'all see that? And then it goes on down here, and it says the call option for the forfeiture of this. It's just amazing, people. That right here Let's see, one of these is going to be Silver Lake. All these notes that they're talking about, they're convertible notes. All right. They can trade these in for AMC shares. That's what these notes do. All right. And this is how many's out there. And with each note, with each person, specifically Wanda, Silver Lake is part of it. They converted their notes and they converted their Class B shares. And in return, they got Class A commons and they got APE. The matching number, 1 for 1 APE in 2020. And in 2021, people, APE was not created then. How did they do that? Very simple. Froggy Styles. I've known what was going on for a month. And I knew what was going on for a month now because Froggy Styles sent me this document in the email. And today, when the revelation come out about APE being sold in 2020, as far back as I could find, is 2020. He asked me, did I remember this case? I said, do I remember it? I printed it out and I read it. It was long. It's about 80 pages long. Yeah. Well, what this case is about, people, and I've had this for a month. I just had to sit on the information. This case is about a scam. And the people that perpetrated the scam, they used, get ready for this, a diamond mine. A diamond mine was how they were using the scam in the CMKM lawsuit. They had a diamond mine and they would pump that diamond mine and pump that diamond mine. And there was no diamonds. There was absolutely nothing. And Froggy asked me, did I remember that in here? And I said, yeah, I remember that. They got Highcroft is what they're using today. They pump Highcroft. They pump Highcroft. There's nothing there. If there was gold in that motherfucking mountain, you realize how many people Warren Buffett himself would be down there. All right. Because as much gold as they're trying to convince me and use in fucking ground at Highcroft, it was about as many diamonds was in this gold mine. I mean, diamond mine. So they used that up, the diamond mine, as part of the scam. And they're using up the Highcroft as part of this one. Now, let's talk a little more. What else did they do? What did they go to jail for? That's why when I did my video this morning, I said, ooh, Adam Aaron's going to jail. Why? Because these motherfuckers went to jail. And they doing the same scam. The exact same scam, people. I'll tell you the name of it again. You can look it up. CMKM. CMKM. It's the same exact scam they were doing here. Now, do you know what the major part of this scam was? Now, they were selling unregistered shares of, I think it was the gold mine, unregistered shares. All right. Now, the way the process is supposed to work, they send the shares over to ComputerShare. That's the transfer agent. All right. And they have to meet the requirements and everything. And then that stock, AMC's preferred equity unit, on August 4th, became registered. Okay. It became registered August 4th at ComputerShare with the New York Stock Exchange. That's how APE became registered. But they're selling APE and giving APE away to their friends 2 years prior to the creation of APE or to the registration of it. You see, Adam Aaron has been giving away unregistered shares of AMC. I mean, of APE. We don't know exactly yet. I've only scratched the surface, people, and I found Wanda. Wanda got, let me do this again. I'll share my screen again. I'll tell you about the 72. Hold on just a minute, sweetheart. Brandon, get back with me on the 72. Let me see if I can find this real quick. People, I sit here. No, it was up around 200 even. All right. Wanda. Wanda in 2020 with their convertible notes, they were supposed to get 5,666,000 Class B shares and 5,661 AMC preferred equity units. Okay, in 2020. Now, where'd them ape shares come from? They're not registered with the SEC, are they? No. Why? Because they didn't get registered with the SEC through computer share to be able to be sold until August of 2020, 2022, 23, 22. Can you believe that? The same thing, selling unregistered shares is the scam here. Selling unregistered shares is the scam with ape. We don't know how many shares. I got a clue because when I came up with my solution, it says, bitch, you got 4 billion ape. And then I read this and I said, oh, no, he doesn't. He's been selling. He's been making money. He's been using them as to lower the debt and give them to his friends. You got to understand something, people. What is ape? Ape is no more. All right, let me ask this. What is a AMC token? Oh, he makes Bernie Madoff look like a bitch. I'm telling you, Kenny, Adam Aaron makes Bernie Madoff look like a hoe. Adam Aaron's been doing this. Ain't no telling how. Listen, they have access to 5 billion apes, and we've sold 500 million, and he gave up 500 million to us. We did the equity thing, I know. But the point is this, that's 1 billion. And I said, well, stop diluting our damn ape shares, our dividend, and make a Series B with the son of a bitches. But he can't. Why? Because all of his friends have the the preferred Series A, and it has to stay inside that pool so they can swap them around. They're no more different than a locate. Do you understand the tokens? And I've known this for a while too. Just got to wait till all the pieces of the puzzle come together. But here's the thing about the tokens, people. The tokens were a locator that if a hedge fund has that token, then he can claim that within 2 days, he can gain access to an AMC share. That's what that token represents. It's no more than that. All right. That's why whenever the shit with the tokens were coming up, and I just let people ball it out with each other on YouTube. But I said, stop and ask yourself, who bought the fucking tokens? Because whoever bought the tokens is short. Why? Because they need the tokens as a locator. Same thing with ape. Ape is no more than an AMC locator, people. If you own an ape, it's worth an AMC. So they've sold billions and gave away billions and made cash behind closed doors in their pocket, possibly upwards of 4 billion shares. Why do you think they need that reverse stock split so bad? Because if you do it and he can reset ape, now he's got 5 billion more and he can do the process all over again. But right now, he can't. They've got to have the reverse stock split. If you don't do the reverse stock split, you can't lower the float to begin with to sell more, and you can't get access to 5 more billion apes. What's today? Switching gears. I hope y'all understand. Ape is a locate. That's all it is, people. Now, how many has he given away to his hedge fund buddies that are locates for AMC that we don't know about? because I've done caught him doing it twice, once with Wanda and once with Silver Lake. So how many of his other hedge fund buddies has he fucking gave ape to? Which is no more than an AMC locate. Oh, it makes all the sense in the world. Once that when I seen that this morning, I got it about 6 o'clock. I got to that part about the dividend, and I wrote the date down. I said, something's not right about this date. 2020. You was selling ape and using ape as a currency for AMC and paying a motherfucking dividend to them. You wonder why we're in debt? You got no telling how many billions of apes out there that he's sticking a dividend to for his buddies. And we don't know nothing. Did you know he paid a dividend in 2020 on ape? No. Well, you don't know he's doing it now. That's the worst thing, Space Ape. You tricked me into believing you, bitch. You had me convinced. I look back at his tweets now and I realize he's talking to somebody, but he wasn't talking to us. When he was saying checkmate and choke on that and so forth and so on, yeah, he was talking to his buddies. He was not talking to us. They were communicating on Twitter. I dare that motherfucker now. You better not go in another AMC movie theater. People gonna hang this motherfucker for what he's done. Ain't no telling how many billions of ape that man is giving away. Rico, you damn right. That's what all this boiled down to, people. They went to jail for selling unregistered shares. And they would buy it themselves and then they'd sell it to themselves. They had all kind of fucking ways they were doing it. But the crux of the matter was they were selling unregistered shares. And Adam Aaron's been doing that. Ape was not registered with the SEC until August of 22. And let me tell you something, as bad as this situation is, they looking for a fucking fall guy, people. They're looking and see this fucking big red flag now. They're saying, oh, Adam Aaron, we're going to have to use you up, dog, to get everybody out of this shit. Adam Aaron's going to eat dirt. The docket was this was sealed. We couldn't get into it. The special master saw that they sealed it, and she contacted the judge and said, hey, you know they sealed those documents even though you told them not to. And the judge got on her ass, and then she told them, unseal them and put it on your website. Lou's been saying what? Bitch, I ain't heard Lou say nothing. He just ate his card. I just saw him eating his card. Oh, jumping out of a window. Let me tell y'all something. Can you imagine if he sold 1 billion ape that are unregistered, where did all that money go? Yeah, I watched Owning the Float. Oh, don't say it can't ever. It was on its way to fucking bankruptcy, people. I don't know if they bankrupted or not because AMC is a cash cow for these motherfuckers. I don't think they bankrupt it. If you think about it, it wouldn't make sense to bankrupt it. It's their cash cow. And we got the bunch of dumbest fucking retail investors in the world that's been, listen, I fell for it too. And listen, if you make me fall for some shit, you're good. I just can't believe it took me that long. But when I heard that motherfucker say there ain't none, I said, there ain't none. How the fuck you gonna say that, man? Yeah, there's synthetic apes out there. It's him. What's today? Somebody tell me what's special about today? Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Fuck no, Ken Griffin. No wonder they was painting him as the devil. I have to backtrack, and I have to agree with Al. Yeah, Citigroup's a big part of this. It ain't Citadel, it's Citigroup. Highcroft, look, you got to understand something. Every stock on the stock market is manipulated. You just got to choose which stock you're going to lay in bed with. Try to figure out what the rhythm is, and you ride it. Is Highcroft? No, I would not say Highcroft is a good bet no more. You know why? Because when this shit blows up, and it's gonna blow up, it's gonna blow up. This judge used to be DOJ for Delaware. So if you think she ain't got friends, and now that this has come to light, that motherfucker, you've been selling unsecured, unregistered shares and paying dividends out of AMC's bank account to your friends the month before they shut down for COVID. That happened in February 2020. February 2020, February 26th, February 27th, 26th, February 26th, 2020. They paid a dividend to Ape shares. And then in March, they closed down for COVID. And then in April, he puts out a statement that he can't pay dividends because we're not outside of our debt covenant. So it went dividend in February, March COVID, April he says we can't pay a dividend because of the debt covenants. So what the fuck did he give them? 1.5 cents per share, and it was $1.6 million that he gave somebody for a dividend on Ape. We need to know who that was. I tell you, man, Amar, Israel, I've said that 100 times. What the fuck have I got myself into? Now, I just bought into a movie theater chain. God dog it. Everybody was at home, and I figured everybody'd be going back to the movie theaters. I thought it was a good bet. Look what I got myself into. Yeah, he's been caught, dog. I'll tell y'all something else. Let me show where did I see that? God dog it. January 27th. January 27th. Let me see. Y'all give me just a minute because I'm looking for something. This is going to rock your fucking world when you see this. That's Silver Lake. There it is. Son of a bitch. All right, let me share my screen. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to get your shit rocked again? Who wants another revelation out of this document? And let me tell you something. I struggled with coming forward and telling y'all this because I thought it was going to be a part of the discovery. And so you're not supposed to talk about the discovery. But since the judge made them put it on their website, I said, okay, well, if it's on their website, everybody should know about it. So I said, let's dig in this motherfucker. Y'all want to know what I found? Who was holding? Well, let me just share my screen and then I'll ask the question. On January 27th, 2021, let me start over. On January 27th, 2021, affiliates of Silver Lake, you've heard that name come up a lot, and certain co-investors, known as the note holders, all 600 million principal amount of the company's convertible notes due in 2026 into shares of common stock at a conversion price of $6.76 a share. Okay, so what happened? Silver Lake has these notes, and they're convertible notes, and they could be converted into AMC shares. So again, we go back to the note is a locate. If something was to happen, if Silver Lake is short and they needed to come up with shares, then they've got these notes that they can convert And then boom, Adam Aaron has to give them the shares, and now they can cover their shorts. What day did this happen, people? January 27th, 2021. Now let's take a look at our chart. January 27th, 2021. What happened? Silver Lake cashes in their notes, and they say, we want our shares of AMC. Here they are, and they gave them their shares of AMC. January 2021. Oh, fuck, how can I miss that? January 2021. When it ran up to $12, people. On that date, 27 January 21, see it right there at the bottom, right here? The 27th was the day that it jumped from here to there. We squeezed on that day. And on that day, Silver Lake, oh, I can't just switch tabs. Okay. All right, stop sharing. Let me get back over here. And we're looking at that. January 27, 2021 was the day we ran up from 3 to 12. And on this day, they cashed in their convertible notes and they received their shares of AMC. And this was the result. They sold it off. They were able to cover their positions, and then all this happened. Why? From the shares that they just converted on January 27th. Now, if that ain't a fucking smoking gun, Silver Lake did. Oh, let me see. One more thing. There it is. All right. No. Yeah, I got to share this. Hold on. Who's with me? Y'all still with me? Are y'all still with me? Because I'm fixing to drop some shit on you that's fixing to blow your world up. You think Adam Aaron ain't going to jail? Watch this. On January 27, 2021, Silver Lake, all right, and certain co-investors, all of the convertible notes, yeah, they said, we want our shares. So AMC said, okay, and they got the conversion price of $6.76 a share. All right. The non-cash conversion settled on January 29th, the day after the run-up, and resulted in the issuance of 44,422,860 shares of the company's common stock. All right. So when Silver Lake, on the day that AMC ran up to 12, Silver Lake cashed in, and the other investors cashed in their convertible notes, and they received a total of 44,422,860 shares of of AMC. No, don't excuse me, because there's an and right there. And but nor will get you very far. But on the day that they converted their notes, people, they received 44,422,860 shares of the common stock and 44,422,860 of the company's preferred equity units. They had to give Silver Lake 44 million shares of AMC's common stock and 44 million shares of AMC's preferred equity unit when January 27th, the day of the run-up, 2021. Now, let me do this one more time. That's when it happened. They issued out 44 million shares, new shares of AMC, and they were sold on the open market, and that happened. And they were given 44 million shares of ape on this day, but we never hear about them again. They disappeared. And they said they converted them at 60 or $6. Let's take a look at when they converted them. At what price they converted them, I mean. $6.76 a share. All right. And when it's funny, when Ape opened on August 4th, it opened at like $6.95 or $6.85, something like that. And here it is on the 21st. Silver Lake received from AMC 44 million AMC preferred equity units in a conversion of their notes. So how did Adam Aaron give them 44 million? And those are not accounted for, people. You wouldn't know about these 44 million had I not found the document. So those 44 million apes, we don't know about them. They're off to the side. They're not part of our pool. How many more apes are out there that's not part of our pool? That's what they're trying to hide. And when they try to do the reverse stock split, that's what they're getting rid of. The fact that they probably sold 2 billion apes on the side, pocketed the fucking money, selling it right now. Y'all wonder where all this shit's going. They're selling it right now. The mother shit, man, this is the biggest shit you ever seen. AA's going to jail. I promise y'all. Somebody's going to put him in jail. This judge, I believe this judge wants that son of a bitch in jail. They probably made over, and this is no bullshit, at a conversion rate of $6.76 that we just seen. And that was 44 million. So somebody multiply 44 million shares of ape times $6.76 and tell us what the answer is. That's how much money Silver Lake made in ape shares. They were given 44 million fucking apes 2 years before it was created. You looking for synthetics and counterfeits, motherfucker? There's 44 million right there that's not supposed to exist. And he gives them, listen, he gives them notes that are convertible so that anytime they need them, they can convert them and get AMC shares with it. But what happened? They hit their limit. Do y'all realize how many shares this motherfucker has dropped to where we wasn't but at like 50 million? And then you take a breath and we're at 525 million. He sold shit. And every time he was selling AMC shares, he was creating ape shares with it too. I got the whole list of sales that Citigroup did prior to ape being created. There's like 9 different transactions to it. So they made $300 million on that one transaction. Silver Lake made $300 million. No, but yeah, I could see that. 300 million then. Off of those 44 million shares of ape that are not supposed to be in existence, $300 million. Now, motherfuckers, now you want to talk about a $129 million lawsuit, bitch, you lost your mind. Where's them $1 billion that you've made off these apes you've sold at the back door? They're going to kill me, people. They're going to kill me. Nobody else seen that. I was on the phone with Donahue. Donahue said, motherfucker. I said, yeah. I would have never went and looked at this. We just burned out. It was time for something to take a break because there's nothing going on in the court. Oh, what's today, people? What is today? Anybody know? Anybody know what today is? Today's a very special day, people. We're 44 Yeah, CSI didn't kill itself. Yeah, you're fucking right. CSI will not kill itself. I go through the list. I said, now how the fuck am I going to die? And try to figure out how you're going to die. I said, okay. Sometimes the easiest way to get to an answer is, oh, thank you, my friend. That's Mike. Mike, what's up, Mike? Mike. Let me see. The quickest way to get to an answer sometimes is to think about how I'm not going to die. And I start making that list. This is how I'm not going to die, people. I'm not going to be ate by a shark. Not going to happen. How can I say I'm not? Because I'm not going to get in the fucking ocean with a shark to be ate by a shark. So I can scratch that. I'm not going to die by a shark. How else am I going to die? Well, if I'm in a place like this in my home, I'm not going to die in a fire. Why? Because you think I can't knock through that fucking wall. Let that fire get on your ass and see if you can't get through that wall. I said, well, I ain't going to die in a fire. I ain't going to fall from a fucking skyscraper. I'm not going to be taking a selfie on a skyscraper and the wind blow me off. It's not going to happen. Why? Because I'm not going to the top of the fucking skyscraper. So you see how I can start narrowing down the list. This is how I'm not dying. Piranha is not going to eat me. Tony DeNaro is going to play me in the movie. We're already in talks with signing the contract for him to play me. I'm fucking with y'all. Tony, let me tell y'all something about Tony. Did y'all see that motherfucker's latest post? Listen, there's no shame in saying I was wrong. And not only am I wrong, there's a place to put the fucking blame, bitch. It's on Adam Aaron. Now, some of the yes tubers, not all of them, some of them, they mean well. They're still confused. They want to believe, just like I wanted to believe. That's why it took me a whole year and a half before I woke up, is I wanted to believe. Some of them still do. They want to believe. So they're not lying for the intent of lying and deceiving. They're just saying what they say because they believe it and because they want to hold on to that dream. But then you got some that straight up lie, that know better and they lie. And those are the motherfuckers I go after. And Tony's one of them. It's so easy, Tony, to just go, hey, look, you know what? I was fooled by that motherfucker too. If I was Tony, I'd be saying some shit like, and I shook that motherfucker's hand. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at, like, who was that? Frankie just got through saying a minute ago. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at Frankie. Don't get mad at Marine. Don't get mad at fucking Adam Aaron. He's the one you shook his hand and he spit in your face when he shook your hand. What's today, people? Nobody's ever. I'm gonna get off Phil. I like Phil. Phil's good people. I drive Phil for the fun of it because I figure he'd do something back, and he usually does, and it entertains everybody. I'm not hating Phil. No, he didn't fool us all. He still got some people fooled. Hey, all of us ain't woke up. What about the court? What's tomorrow in court? Something significant is happening tomorrow in the court. Response from AMC on what? To our objections. Today's the day. This is their deadline. Something major could happen today because they have to file their objection to my objection. I ain't worrying about nobody else's objection. My objection, motherfucker, you got till about, well, Total would argue with me and say they got till midnight if they do it electronic filing, but they got till midnight. Okay, I'll give you till midnight. You got 12 hours. You got 24 hours, motherfucker. 23 hours and 24 hours and 10 minutes to figure out how you're going to defeat me in that courtroom. Now, if they miss that deadline, that's when I get their ass. That's when I file that letter and say, look, Your Honor, it looks like I'm going to have to come on up there because these motherfuckers just ain't going to do the right job. And she'll probably let me. But then my plane will fucking I'll be unresponsive in the plane and it'll crash, right? Yeah, with 6 F-16 fighters surrounding it, it crashed. The shit they tell us. Charles Manson's going to be, well, Charles is dead. Yeah, you got 23 hours and 10 minutes. Wanda ain't got nothing to say. Wanda's out of the play. Wanda better be glad they kick rocks because look, they can still get brought back into this, but I'd leave them alone. They're China. We can have our own problems with fucking China. It won't be with Wanda. But they are part of that. They got preferred shares too. Wanda did. Prometheus, are you saying that you could have bought preferred shares of AMC in 2020 on Forge Global? What is Forge Global? Wanda cashed in their Class B shares and their AMC Preferred Equity Unit shares. ChatGPT, what did it say? ChatGPT was ugly with me today. I asked it a question concerning that, and it told me, it said, motherfucker, I've been trying to tell you for a year Adam Aaron was robbing y'all. That's what ChatGPT said. ChatGPT said, man, if you can't see the handwriting that's been on the wall for a year, what the hell could it tell me? Oh, I know. It was just something my dad had. I mentioned the airplane because my dad mentioned it to me this morning, where he said that it's pretty significant who was on that plane for it to do that and crash. And I won't go there because of conspiracy theories. I'm in a big enough conspiracy as it is. Yes, yes, they're still holding notes, convertible notes that if something was to happen, they could convert them. And how many of them are apes? Looks to me like, from what my research is showing, every time he sold an AMC share, he sold an ape share with it to these people. So whatever they have in AMC shares, that's what they're holding in ape, unregistered ape now, unregistered. Y'all want me to ask? And space ape, that's how it works. But you got to be careful because it's still working out the kinks, and it'll throw you back an answer, and it makes it up, and then it's kind of like, and I like you say, wait a minute, that's not right, and it goes, oh, I apologize for being wrong. No, bitch, I need you to be right. That's why they got that lawyer's ass. They're saying the lawyer's in trouble for using ChatGPT. I said, no, the lawyer's in trouble for being a dumbass. He didn't check the work. Yeah, smash the like button if you want the RICO Act put on their ass. I knew it was going to bring a RICO. Listen, people, if you just be led by the Spirit, this morning, I could not shake that dividend thought. And Thomas James put out a video about the dividend. And I left a polite comment, by the way, that there's no way AMC can pay a dividend because he used the example of $1. Well, if it's old shit, but if AMC was to have to pay $1 per share, then they have to pay $517 million worth of dividend to AMC shareholders, right? No. The very first people to get a dividend is going to be the APE shareholders. Why? Because they're preferred. That's one of the rights of the preferred. As long as I hold that preferred share, if AMC pays a dividend, I get the dividend first. So in order for AMC to pay common shareholders a dividend, they have to pay APE shareholders a dividend first. If it's $1, then you're going to AMC, by giving a $1 dividend, they would have to pay $1.5 billion. Why? You can't give now you can give a preferred share a dividend without giving it to the common. It'd be kind of shitty, but you can do that. But you can't have common getting a dividend and the preferred shares missing out on it. No, it don't work like that. The question is, he was paying out dividends for APE shares that were not registered. You say, how do you know it wasn't registered? Look, it's cool I can share my screen, but I have to jump from tab to tab, and so I got to stop it from sharing. Just take my word for it. These motherfuckers, man, I can't believe they've done what they've done. They've probably made $1 billion. If they've sold 1 billion APE at the back door, even at $1 a share, at the lowest that APE has ever been, 68 cents, that's still $690 million at the lowest we've ever been. But if he got rid of, well, why didn't he sell APE when it was 10? He probably was. He just didn't tell us. The APE we see now was considered AMC preferred stock prior to conversion to APE. I don't understand. Prior to APE, August 4th, 2022, there is no recording of them using AMC preferred equity units. In fact, he tells us this is a novel idea. We've never thought about this before. And APE was created, and he sold 500 million, but he's probably sold another billion on the side. I never sell. Listen, when it comes down to APE, oh, and in case y'all missed it, they know the arbitrage is coming. Lock him up. Motherfucker right. See, when I broke the law, these motherfuckers had no problem putting me in prison for a very, very long time. It's a shame. See all that bullshit we used to hear about how Adam Aaron and his legacy, and no bullshit, your legacy, man, your legacy is you got caught running the exact same fucking scam these people did, only they used a diamond mine. All right. And they were selling unregistered shares of a company, just like Adam Aaron's doing with APE. What time is it? What we got? Oh, 6 more minutes. What am I eat? What am I eat tonight? Try to learn something new every day. How many people have heard the song Poncho and the Lefty by Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard? How many people know that song, Poncho and Lefty? Ups driver. When I was a little boy, my best friend's daddy was an Ups driver. That's what we used to call him. He's the Ups man. Ape is free for his buddies. Cost us out the ass though. Willie Nelson, Poncho, and Lefty. I'm sitting here this afternoon. My buddy was here taking care of my business over there, and I'm drunker than shit waiting on him to get here with my shit. And I'm just sitting there and I got drunk and I hit on Poncho and Lefty by Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard. And I watched that video and I said, I'll be a motherfucker. Now I'm 53 years old and I've heard that song 2,000 times in my lifetime, but I did not know what that song was about. I can sing you the words to it. I know the words to Poncho and Lefty, but never stop to take a minute to think about what that song meant. Willie Nelson is an outlaw and Merle Haggard is the bounty hunter. And in the beginning of the song, Willie Nelson is shot and he's talking about it, remembering his mama. He's fixing to die. Willie Nelson's fixing to die in the video and in the song. And Merle Haggard is standing behind him dressed in black and he's a gunfighter. Well, he shot Poncho and killed Poncho. And in the line where it says that they could have had him any day, they were referring to the Mexicans because he had crossed over into Mexico to catch Lefty. And the Mexicans were telling him that they could have had Poncho at any time. They chose not to arrest him or kill him. So then I got to thinking about, well, why would that be in the song? Sometimes I sit back, I think of some crazy shit. That apparently Willie Nelson, which is Poncho in the song, helped the Mexican community, and he was not an outlaw to them. But Merle Haggard shot him and killed him in the story. But I thought that was pretty cute. Thank you, Java. Red Star. I can see some of y'all now. Woody. 22 hours, 58 minutes to answer my brief on why. How do you think? Listen, they're going to try to negotiate now. Okay, we don't want 20 million. No, motherfucker, if anybody gets paid 20 million, I think I ought to get paid 20 million. I've done more work on this case than all of their lawyers put together. Al from Boston, y'all know how I feel about him, but as much work as him and his team has done, they deserve some compensation, especially if they would mail it to the Delaware Department of Justice. All right. He insists. Y'all know what that is. That's not a UFO. $1,200 an hour. See, in my brief, I put that. I said, now, here are people that make more an hour than the class members making a week, and some 2 weeks. You make $1,100 an hour. Motherfucker, you used a case that's never won in 80 years, and you want me to pay you $20 million for that shit? Did you have ChatGPT do it for you too and didn't check it? You should have checked it. When I was coming up, maybe one of y'all know him. Maybe he's still around. I don't know. Oh, Lord. They got a coyote outside and Boomer's getting mad. Boomer's telling him, bitch, get on out of my yard. Come here, man. You want to say hey to everybody? Come on. You hear that thing outside? Tell it get on. What is it? Watch them. Watch them. You watch them. Yeah. Oh, oh shit. Watch them, son. Boomer. Somebody asked about the Great Flood of 2016. I told him, yeah, me and Boomer lived in a fucking storage shed in 2016. We lost everything. Come here. Come here, ho. Come here, bitch. Bitch, if I got a cookie, you come to me. Little girl on the couch. Tell him, son, send Adam Aaron to jail. That's their cookie jar. My dad got them hooked on vanilla wafers. Yes, that's why I don't fault a lot of the YouTubers of the past. I mean, we only operate on the information that we have. We did not have all of this information. Nobody in their right mind. Well, I knew a month ago that he was selling unregistered shares, but I didn't have the proof, so I never said anything. But when I read this, and I knew the connection between a diamond mine, a gold mine, selling unregistered shares, and then ape come up, the last piece that I needed was, when did he sell ape? Or when was he using it? And he used it, the first time that I can find is 2020, where he paid a dividend. But I guarantee you, he's been doing it. I'm telling you, I bet you talk about synthetics. Motherfucker, I bet you Adam Aaron has sold probably, just my opinion, don't want to be sued, $1 billion worth of ape. And they've pocketed that money. I could talk about trades. Was he a plant? I'm pretty sure he was. How him and Adam Aaron could have connected, I have no idea. Because in case you don't know, Trey, he's not the good little scholarly kid that was in running track. You remember him telling the stories of him running track, but then something happened to his heart and he couldn't run anymore, like talking about and so forth. Y'all remember all them stories? That was all bullshit. Trey's got a history of distribution of heroin. He's an ex-con. If you look up Tremaine Collins's record, you will find that he has a record for distribution of heroin. He's not the lieutenant in the military. What happened to the lieutenant in the military story once AMC squeezed? What'd he do? Buy his contract from the military and got out? No. If it would have been his last day in the military, he would have wanted everybody to see that. That was all a fake ass story. Now, rather him and Adam Aaron colluded together, I have not seen any evidence on that. And I'm thinking they would. Well, I'm only on page 200 of this 700-page document. You'd think sooner or later it's going to say something about, oh, and we had to pay cowboy and mustache and caveman, $100,000 this month. No, see, that's the thing. He told you he was in the military. Why? What happened to him being in the military? After AMC squeezed, you don't hear of Trey being in the military no more. He's a gamer. And he shacked up with Astro. Listen, when all this first started, and I learned about the squeeze, and then I started learning about algorithms, I found Astro. And I looked at Astro because Astro was one of the big popular YouTubers at the time. And he was talking about these geo figures that you could do with the computer, and it spins it this way, and you could look at the FTDs this way, and he does all that, right? Well, I understood that as manipulation, all right, because I understand that you manipulate someone by trying to show them how much more intelligent you are to them, trying to make them subservient to you. So I caught on the Astro right away, but I'm looking at this motherfucker, his long hair, he lives in his mama's basement, literally, and he looks like a heroin addict. I said, everybody's following, this is when I first got into play. I said, everybody's following a heroin addict? That's who we getting our information from. Well, and if you look at Astro's videos, he looks like a fucking heroin addict. All right. Always in the dark and shit like that. Well, then it became fitting for when I found out that Tremaine Collins was arrested and convicted of distribution of heroin, because I'm watching him on live stream one time, and Astro comes in and sits down, and they're doing the live stream together. Now, they promoted it, Astro and Trey live. All right. But nobody caught the fact that they were in the same room together in Trey's new home. So either Trey moved up where Astro was, or Astro moved over there, and they were staying together. Yeah. We got a junkie. In the beginning, we had a junkie. And, and I ain't defending Al. People give Al a bad time. Why don't he show his face? How come you motherfuckers didn't holler about Pantheon? How come you don't show your face, Pantheon? Nobody asked Pantheon to show his face. Listen, don't mess with me. I'm a master debater. I'm a master debater. Boomer's telling that dog, get out of our yard. All right. I don't know where it can go from here. I know how bad this shit has gotten so bad. All right. I can see that, Javi. It's gotten so bad. Listen, do you see the new narrative the yes tubers are pushing out? I mean, Donaro. All right. Look, I ought to show y'all the post. Look, everybody's crying. Adam Aaron's stealing 90% of my shares. But ain't nobody said nothing when Mullen did a 25-to-1 split. So, bitch, all my money ain't in Mullen. I give a fuck less what's going on in Mullen. I got a handful of Mullen. I've got the house on fucking AMC. But that's your defense, is that Mullins did the same thing, and BB Wise did the same thing, and Sundial did the same thing, and Highcroft's doing the same thing. Watch Mike the Marine's video. So what are you going to say? That Adam Aaron gets a pass because all the rest of them did it? Is that what you're trying to communicate to us with that bitch-ass post he did? Well, y'all didn't cry when Mullen. Yeah, they were crying when Mullen did it. Let me tell you something else. Motherfuckers didn't cry in MMLTP when they did a split in the middle of the night. They did not inform their shareholders. They did what the fuck they wanted. And that was just the way it was. You didn't hear none of that. Now, you do have who? Wes Christian over there now. He's going to solve everything. Yeah. They're fighting the shorts. Yeah, they sure are. They're fighting the shorts about as much as fucking Adam Aaron is. The Gunner Gang, hey. I've been watching a lot of them videos too. I love them old Western shits. I've been watching the story of Doc Holliday, the real story. Wyatt Earp, you know, and when you hear different perspectives of the story, then you can start to see what happened. Wyatt Earp and his brothers, they weren't lawmen. They were gangsters. And Ike Clanton and the rest of them, they wanted that land. And the Erbs were going to get that fucking land. That was the end of the story. Now, they were lawmen, but they used the law badge as leverage to where you're going to do this or we're going to take you to jail. Well, then Ike Clanton and his family said, fuck that. Come take it. And they shot it out at the OK Corral. But they say the winner writes the history, and Wyatt Earp won. So he got to tell the story. I love Tombstone. Val Kilmer, I don't believe they could have got a better person to play Doc Holliday than Val Kilmer. I just watched about a week ago the original, the one I fell in love with, the gunfight at the OK Corral with Kirk Douglas. Yeah, that's a good show from the 1960s. I'm in Louisiana. There's going to be a shootout at the AMC Corral. You let that motherfucker show up at another movie theater talking about, I gave y'all ape. And just somebody's going to shoot him. I wouldn't do it. I would not be making public appearances knowing how everybody's feeling right now. And that's something else that they said in this prospectus that I'm reading, the 700 pages. They're trying to make their people understand that at some point, retail might turn on Adam Aaron. It tells you that in the document. It says, now, we can't guarantee that retail will be as motivated as they have been in the past because shit was fixing to get fucked up. And they're telling their investors, look, y'all need to be aware. We might not be able to hold on to retail much longer. That's in this document. I don't want nothing bad to happen to Adam Aaron. I don't want nobody to do Adam Aaron nothing. I just know from 53 years of being on this earth and seeing the consequences of certain actions, I would not be going to a movie theater with a motherfucker who got guns this fucking big and you done caused me to mortgage my house, motherfucker. And then you got that other bitch ass mustache over there. He's going to be saying about, guys, I understand. Y'all bought in at the top. I understand. I wish you wouldn't have. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Please, somebody shut that motherfucker up. There. Rule number one in counseling, because I went to school for counseling. Rule number one, don't ever tell the person you understand, because that's when they flash out. How the fuck do you understand my kid's dead? Is your kid dead? So you don't ever tell a motherfucker who's telling you a traumatic story, oh, I understand. Unless you've been through it and can relate. Then you can say, I know my son died too. Or whatever the case may be. My sixth wife done left me. Is it me? I asked ChatGPT. But I just got divorced for the sixth time. Is it me or is it them? Because they all six tell me the same thing. It's not you, common sense investor. It's us. Thing about all my exes, they don't live in Texas. They've changed their sexes. I seen that song on YouTube. All my exes changed their sexes instead of all my exes live in Texas. You talk about funny. That dude's a comedian singer, and he comes up with some good shit. Paul Pelosi, man, say sometimes tell you about Paul Pelosi. When that shit went down with Paul Pelosi at his house, me and my dad, we laughed about it. It's like, yeah, okay. This guy just breaks into the house and he hits Paul Pelosi in the head with this hammer. I'm not buying the story. Something more went on there. Well, when they released the footage and the police opened the door and Paul Pelosi's standing there and he's holding the head of that hammer in his hand. And the guy's got the handle of the hammer. And the police say, drop the hammer. And the guy says, no, what? And he smacks him in the head with that motherfucker. And I say, damn, Paul, that bitch knocked your ass off. I'm sorry for laughing at him. Because when I seen that motherfucker really did smack him with that hammer like that, you can't hit an old person like that. Yeah. Suspect timing. Yeah, there just happened to be a fucking sandbag there for Biden to have tripped over a couple hours after he fell. They got pictures of a sandbag. There was no sandbag there before. The narrative. And I wish Fox would quit doing that shit. See how Fox, what's that? Pete and the little young one that's on there now. They like to get up there and they like to laugh and make fun of Joe Biden. Then they talk about how bad off Joe Biden is. Listen, motherfuckers, y'all are the ones telling China and showing China all these things, Russia, all these things. They might have missed the fact that he tripped on that fucking stage. But since Fox wanted to show it 99 times in 1 hour, other countries see our weakness. And that's not a place for news network. No matter if it's CNN that hated Trump or them not liking Biden, there's no place for that in our news. I watch Fox, I watch CNN when I want to see what the other side is saying. But what's funny? Trump's making appearances on CNN and not on Fox. How the fuck did that transition happen? Did y'all hear Dylan Mulvaney is a lesbian now? Yes, you got a guy who thinks he's a girl that's a lesbian. Wouldn't that make you straight? You just have a funny way of dressing. Mary Jenny. Oh, I seen a video today where it's talking about how you could set ChatGPT up to be your girlfriend. I'm like, I don't need the bitch to be my girlfriend. I need her working. Get to work and write me 30 more scripts for YouTube channels on my psychology channel. Now, I think I'm going to switch gears on my musical channel. Y'all tell me how y'all think this would work. A lot of people subscribe to music channels. When they're in their car, they can just turn their phone on and it comes through the speakers and shit like that. Y'all know the routine. Well, I can go get an hour-long relaxing saxophone video of audio of them playing the saxophone for a fucking hour. Post it on my music channel. People will go to it. Why? Because they want to listen to smooth jazz. So they'll turn that on and it'll play for an hour. But the big thing right now is not like jazz or R&B or whatever. It's the AI music. AI is able to create the music now. You just got to tell it what kind of music you want it to say. And I need a slow jazz while I'm driving melody for an hour. And boom, the fucking AI machine in less than a minute gives it to you. So that's where I'm going. I'm going to turn my music channel into an AI music. All right. Where when one person used a deep fake of one of these famous rappers and made a song, had ChatGPT write the song for him, took the song, put it in the AI machine, added this rapper's voice to it and the song, and my God, it sounded so fucking awesome. And it's not even the artist. So now they're saying, how are we going to control the AI music? Because I could come out right now with a new Michael Jackson album. Yep, you can come out with a new Elvis album. To people that really loved Elvis and really liked his music, you can get a new Elvis album. Now, it ain't going to be Elvis singing. It's going to be the AI singing to you. That's going to be DeSantis's worst nightmare is Ken Griffin. Because, see, running for president, I mean, you got a hard enough fight on your hands as it is trying to break into the system like Trump did. All right. But it's hard enough for DeSantis to overcome Trump. To have Ken Griffin as the person that it's even just mentioned that Ken Griffin for Secretary of Treasurer, 5 years ago, it wouldn't have made a difference. Today, it makes a big difference because the amount of investors in the stock market today, we now know what Ken Griffin, and I'm not saying he's guilty of everything that's been said about him. I'm not saying he's innocent of it either. But I'm saying right now, I don't give a fuck what Ken Griffin did. He lives down the road. Right now, I got a fucking monster in my house that I have to contend with. And then once I deal with him, then I'll get back to you. But for now, the battle's not with Ken Griffin. It's with this motherfucker. How many billions of dollars have they made selling ape at the back door, unregistered, that's not registered with the SEC? Come on now. Yes, I hear a lot. I hear that a lot. I like DeSantis as my governor, but not as my president. There's only one motherfucker who can come back and fix this shit. Only one. My dad was getting mad at me because he wants to say, well, what about that? Listen, Nikki Haley voted to raise retirement to like 73. Well, I've only voted once. In my whole life, I voted once. And that was 2020 and I'm 4. Trump has to get back in office. I got to pay my taxes soon. They say, CSI, capital gains versus. I said, I don't pay no gains. I don't give a fuck. I'm not sending my tax money in for the bullshit they're doing. You got to house an illegal immigrant in a motel while the vets sleep on the street. I don't support that. I'm not sending my tax money in to support that. Now, when I feel confident that my tax money will be used wisely, I will pay my taxes. I got like 7 years. So it's not like they can throw me in jail. But in 2024, I better catch up on my taxes. I never understood the importance of voting. I've always heard about it, and yeah, I can give you an argument for it. But it's when the vote matters, when something is motivating you to get up off of your couch and go get in line and wait to vote. I mean, something has impacted you to make you want to do that. And that's how I basically got involved with understanding politics is, well, goddamn. You know, Ken Griffin, I never could find the fucking article. Ken Griffin said that he wanted to get involved, Citadel was going to get involved in the eggs futures market. Eggs went up to $6 a dozen. Now they're right back down to $1 something. So I bet you Ken Griffin is now out of the eggs futures market. Somebody check that out. CSI After Dark. Yeah, I like, listen, I kind of dig this and I'm getting used to it because I could sit here and we can just do this and I don't have to sit here for 2 hours and edit the video because sometimes it takes a minute. And I'm up all night editing one video. Then I'll make a second video and you're like, God damn, I got to edit that now. So I get tired of it. So now I've done got a taste of this. I done got a taste of this. Just go live, man. Fuck it. That's what I like about Donahue. Don't make a fuck where Donahue's at, Lou. Makes no difference where they're at. They'll pick that fucking phone up in a minute. Hey, I got something to tell y'all. And I'm like, I can't wait till I get home and make this video because I'm such a perfectionist. But they pull it off so well. For me to run around outside and doing shit and trying to shoot a video, I don't think I could do that. I'm more of a educator. I like to show slides, you know, and say, can y'all understand what I'm saying? The words that are coming out of my mouth. You know who I wish would buy? You know who I think would be a good buy for AMC? Kevin Hart. Do y'all like Kevin Hart? I love Kevin Hart. If Kevin Hart and Chris Rock got together and bought AMC, that would be fucking amazing. Now, don't ask me. That just came to me one night. I was getting high watching fucking Chris Rock on TV. And I said, man, it would be cool as shit if Chris Rock bought AMC. Kevin Hart, don't give two motherfucks. Did y'all see Kevin Hart's movie called True Story? That was a messed up movie. That's a series, like seven long or 5 long, something like that. Man, that was a bad show. If y'all have not watched True Story with Kevin Hart, you ought to watch that. Because then he's playing a comedian, a stand-up comedian in the movie, and you're wondering, well, I wonder if this is a true story. Nicole Kidman better. She probably got a couple million apes before she did the video. Dylan Mulvaney. I just told everybody, in case y'all missed it, Dylan Mulvaney is now a lesbian. So he's a guy that dresses up like a girl that likes girls. I'm just reading y'all's comments. Eddie Murphy. I clipped the thing from Eddie Murphy where he was saying, he was talking about his daddy being drunk. This is my house. And if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out. Because that's how I've lived my whole life. Man, if you don't like it, get the fuck out. Adam Sandler. Let me tell you something about Adam Sandler. Think about Adam Sandler and what's her name? Jennifer Aniston from the murder mystery movies. They got to be fucking around. Them actors and actresses do not make that many movies together, and they're not fucking around. Jamie Foxx supposedly had a stroke, and now I'm hearing that it had something to do with but I don't know what's going on with him. Yeah, we got a male lesbian. Now, I used to joke like that when I was young. I was like, yeah, I'm a lesbian. Exactly. I can identify as anything today. You know, they got, and there's probably one or two of you freaky motherfuckers on here that I'm fixing to talk about. But my fourth wife's sister, she had this fetish about being a fox. And she had a foxtail she wore and everything. And she'd wear that out. Well, there's this freaky ass website where people identify as an animal. She identifies as a fox, and this person over here identifies as this. And she don't like that person because it identifies as a cat. And foxes and cats, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Now, I thought she was crazy. But today, they say I'm the one crazy for not understanding it. You're not using the right pronouns. I seen a video of that. Cop told that motherfucker, "Can I see your driver's license, sir?" And he said, "You're using the wrong pronoun." Like, bitch, if you don't shut up and give me them license, I'm gonna fuck you up. The cop wasn't having, I don't give a fuck what pronoun you use. Give me the driver's license. Martin Lawrence was funny back in his day. They ought to be coming out with Bad Boys 3. Anybody know if there's a release time for Bad Boys 3? Oh. I'm scared to death to know what Jamie Foxx has got on Obama. Man, if some people are just so obsessed with AMC, I try to look for something other than AMC videos to watch. And like I say, I like watching some of the old stories about the Wild West. One thing I've been watching was how they built the pyramids. And after this geologist got through explaining how the pyramids were built, you walk away and you go, that's how they built them motherfuckers, all right. And it was a power grid. Those pyramids are laid out as a power grid. I mean, the things that you just sit back, nothing else to do, get high and watch on fucking YouTube. Now, there's no way you can convince me that they didn't pull them rocks into place. They poured those rocks into place. They had that technology back then to liquefy a rock and bring it up there. Cool ass story. But now that's what I believe. It just that's what makes sense. But what don't make sense is every 5,000 years, the world goes through a fucking catastrophic event and everything's destroyed and we start all over. Ross Perot. I remember when Ross Perot, you know why Ross Perot lost that election? He was too much of an analytical guy. If you remember, he would like to bring out his charts and he could take his pointer and he could point to everything and say, this is where it's fucked up, and this is where it's fucked up, and this is where it's fucked up. And this is where I get fucked up with YouTubers. All right. Is you keep telling me this is how we're fucked up, but you're not telling me how to fix it. That was Ross Perot's problem. He could analyze and tell you everything and how it worked and why it was wrong, but he didn't have solutions. Nobody gives a fuck about the problem. Do you think a man who's worrying about feeding his child is worried about how to grow a fucking carrot? No, just give him a carrot. He'll learn how to grow a carrot later. Well, same thing. I used to get mad at these YouTubers, and even today, you have not seen one YouTuber put forth any other settlement offer that we would accept as the class. I mean, unless you agree with the 1 for $7.5, which is a con, then Lord have mercy. It's getting late. Right. I just said that. Ross would break out the charts on you. He reminds me of Karl Rove on Fox. When Karl Rove's coming on, me and my dad laugh. Said, where's your whiteboard, Karl? Karl throws up his whiteboard and he starts pointing. But that's not what causes change. People being fed up. Now, see, if he would have took that thing and said, now, and then right here, eggs was $1 for a dozen. And then right here, it jumps to $6. And then knock the fucking platform down and saying that's just got to stop. Now then people would stop and say, I like Ross Perot. Yes. I don't know if y'all seen it, but supposedly, do not ask me how this is supposed to have happened, but I seen the video. An American, I think it was F-22 fighter jet, shot down a UFO over Canada that Trudeau asked, can y'all take care of that? And the United States shot down a UFO today or yesterday in Canada. Where the fuck all these UFOs coming from all of a sudden? I believe they've been here. I believe COVID was a cover, and a whole lot of people disappeared off the planet. That's why there's nobody to work. Everybody's like, why don't people get off their ass and go to work? There's nobody to get off their ass. Nobody's getting government assistance no more. Everybody that can work, that wants to eat, will get off their ass and go to work. But all of a sudden, my dad's like, the doctor's like, well, look, I mean, we got to do it over the computer because we don't have the office workers. I said, are you trying to tell me registered nurses have decided they just don't want to go to work? Or something's happened to all the people? And aliens they're eating us. So there's your conspiracy for tonight. Aliens have been here. We're their food. Probably their batteries, like it is in the Matrix, that runs their spaceships. I mean, we can go on and on and on. Pam the Trader is here. Pam, what's the latest movie you went and seen? If I was CEO of AMC, I would have Pam the Trader on the AMC Theaters YouTube channel. And she would be reviewing every time she went to the movies and she did her videos. We would post them on YouTube, AMC's YouTube channel, as a promotion for the movies that she's going to see. Lizard people. V. Y'all remember the movie V? The aliens were here. One person out the whole movie. They asked one of the best questions that in the whole movie. It was a series of shows, but one person asked one question that I'll never forget. How come none of these motherfuckers are ugly? The aliens. How come none of these motherfuckers are ugly? None of them are overweight. You know, he thought outside the box, and then he was able to figure out what the fuck was going on, is my point. And I caught that as a little boy, you know. Why is it this way? If Tony would be a good person on the AMC YouTube channel to give the analyst update on things like he does for AMC on his channel. AMC ought to hire him to do a video for them, and people would come and watch it because of his fan base, and it would grow, and the channel would grow even more. They need to have me on there. What was the name of the Roddy Piper show where you had to put the glasses on? Somebody just said it, Roddy Piper. What was the name of that movie? Tony's very good with his financial situations, whoever tells him what to say. What was the Roddy Piper movie where he put the glasses on? They Live? Okay, They Live. Who is that? Oliver's Papa. Oliver's Papa on YouTube. I know he watches too, motherfucker. He did a video, I think it was him, where he was acting like me, and I would talk about the manipulation, and I would put the glasses on, and I could see it where it would say, buy the dip, and I'd take the glasses off, and I'd put them on again. But he's doing it. He's acting like me. And that was a pretty good fucking little skit he did. I love those YouTubers who do shit, even if it's about me. Hell, I can laugh. I need some water. Charlie Sheen. I love Charlie Sheen. I like Guillermo Estevez. They're supposed to be coming out with a new Young Guns. I don't remember Brother Love show. This is y'all's chance to take a bathroom break and get something to drink, because that's what I got to do. I'll be right back. Whoo, shit. The last cup of coffee for this pot. I gotta make another pot now. Who's talking shit? Who's talking shit over here? Why did Lou come back to New York? For Pride Month, they having the Pride Parade this weekend down there in New York. Lou didn't want to miss it. I heard him talking about that man running down the road barefoot in his little shorts. Better not come find out Uncle Fester's gay. That would destroy our family to find out that Uncle Fester dresses up like Aunt May. Yeah. Well, how about this? How about Matt Kors? How the fuck do you live stream for 9 and 10 hours, drinking water the whole time, but never have to piss? They've equated me to Ernest Vern. You know what I mean, Vern? He was pretty popular when I was growing up. You couldn't have said I reminded you of like Matlock with the way that I've done the legal case, or Perry Mason. Oh, I got to be fucking Vern, huh? Tucker. You know, I haven't watched the video yet, but they're using AI technology and facial recognition to reconstruct George Washington's face, what it would look like. And they're using like the statue and shit, and they're putting skin tone to it and everything. And this motherfucker looks like Tucker Carlson. Right before I came on, I seen that, and I said, God damn, I need to watch that video. George Washington related to Tucker Carlson. That'd be pretty cool. you know how rich Tucker Carlson is? Do you know who his family is? Tucker Carlson's just not a news anchor on fucking Fox. Who is his family? Charles Payne. Did y'all see Charles Payne come out on motherfuckers today, on short sellers today? Talking about he's tired of the bullshit with the short sellers. Charles Payne got a lot of money invested in AMC too. Because I remember when he came out and he said, okay, everybody, it's official. I'm an ape. And I forget how much money he said he spent. Tucker's the true OG. I'm gonna tell you what, I can appreciate you saying Tucker, because let me tell you something. When your feet's held to the fire, that's when you find out who the soldiers are. All right. And when they held Tucker's feet to the fire, Tucker didn't blink. That's why I respect Tucker. Tucker's like, man, fuck y'all. I'm gonna tell the truth. I can't say that about another news anchor on Fox, who's even more popular than Tucker, who, when they put that motherfucker's feet to the fire, Sean Hannity was quick to go, oh, hey, maybe I was wrong. I was wrong about Trump and the election fraud shit, you know. Oh, he caved. Tucker said, man, fuck y'all. You know who else? Laura Ingraham. Laura Ingraham stuck to her guns. She's like, man, fuck y'all. Fire me. Wish you would fire me, is what she was thinking. Well, if he covered the Delaware court and what's going on, why would he cover that with AMC? Why wouldn't he cover the Tesla situation or the SpaceX situation that's going on up there in Delaware? I mean, don't forget, you got blinders on because you're an AMC shareholder. So when he came out like he did against short sellers in one particular company today, he was referring to all them motherfuckers. When he finds out, I can believe that, Stray. When Charles Payne's an OG. I remember when he signed on and he finally come out and he said, all right, y'all, make it official. I bought AMC today. At that point, Charles Payne couldn't do no wrong. And you look at that man and you know he's just like me, or I'm just like him. I am an advocate for the fucking people. I don't care who's right or wrong. I'm an advocate for the people. And I will tell you if you're wrong. And if I tell you you're wrong, I'm not going to be wrong. George Carlin. Ooh. Well, you had to have a special taste for George Carlin, because when I was coming up, George had a filthy mouth, and it's not that I was, you know, it just didn't jive with me being young. And the way now when I've discovered Eddie Murphy, that's when cussing became cool. How many of y'all made fucking Matt Korsrich buying them fanny packs? I remember one time, who was that was on? It was him, and he was doing the Manscape. You know, this episode's sponsored by Manscape, and you could shave. And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about shaving my balls? And we're supposed to be talking about AMC. But some people bought that shit. I could do it. I know how to do it, people. I could go right now and put merchandise on my site. I just don't want to. I like my life being simple. I could write that ebook. I got a good ebook starting about all this. I'm just debating on how much of the name change and how much can I keep the same? How much can I? Because it's going to be obvious when I market it to the apes that it's going to be the AMC story, but it's going to have to be written as a nonfiction or fiction. Depends. I mean, how much am I willing to fight for what's going to be in the book, or can I just say, hey man, it's just a story? Boy, this new development though, oh my God. With these motherfuckers, what Adam Aaron has done, I've known it for a month. I've told y'all I knew it for a month, what he had done. I just couldn't prove it. Tonight or this morning, I proved it. When you paid a dividend to a stock that didn't fucking exist, Ape didn't exist until August. Don't y'all remember when he come out and said, hey, look, we got a wonderful idea. We just come up with this idea. We're going to sell preferred stock. one thing I can't wrap my head around, and I'll think about it when I'm off with y'all. Why would they have revealed their hand now? I mean, why come out with ape at all? Why not just keep doing what they? Oh, I know why. They need to reverse stock split. See, this plan only works as long as there's enough float in the stock to where you can convert your notes. Right now, all your notes cannot be converted. Why? Because we've reached our max on shares. So if they want to convert, I mean, how does that work? Right now, we're at 525 million shares. That's our cap, right? And whoever's holding on to these convertible lien notes, if they want to convert them, can they? Can they go above the float? I don't think so. The whole purpose of the reverse stock split is to bring the float back down so they can start the process back over. That's the whole purpose of the reverse stock split. The reverse stock split is to bring the float down, erase everything over here with ape. That's gone. Those billion apes that he's probably sold at the back door will be gone at the reverse stock split. And he can start all over. He's got a new float. They can convert the note. Every time we run up, they convert their notes into AMC and ape shares. All right, they sell them and the price falls, and it's just a repetitive process. But they can't do it as long as we're at the max float. I tell y'all what, we fixing to go podcast. You hear me? I'm podcasting y'all's ass. Now, can y'all see that? I ought to have one with a middle finger there because I'm fixing to smoke this motherfucker. I'm tired of waiting to smoke it. You're crazy if you sold ape yesterday. Listen, they tell you in the paperwork about the ape arbitrage. They tell you that what's going to happen at conversion is more people are going to need those shares of ape, and they'll want to get the shares of ape to convert into AMC. And that's going to make the price of AMC go down because not as many people are wanting. It's lit, mofo. It's lit, mofo. Puff, puff, and ready to pass. But you just can't overcome it. You can't overcome it. There's no way you can justify how you paid a dividend using AMC cash to a stock that was not supposed to exist. Now, the question is, how do we file the complaint? Who do we file the complaint to? That's where Al from Boston's bitch ass would come in, because now's the time for him to drop his 250-page document. And I would think that he would drop it in the Delaware court, Delaware DOJ. I'd almost guarantee you, I would bet 50% of my AMC shares, and people, I love my AMC shares. I would bet 50% of my AMC shares that if Al and his team was to file their complaint with the Delaware Department of Justice, they would see results. Why? Because that's Zern's territory. She's former DOJ in Delaware. He just, Al, he got mad at me. I took the video down. It was a joke, but I told everybody, I don't think Al's a shield. I think Al is bipolar. And that's why 1 minute he's on fire and Disney's going to buy AMC. And the next minute, he's down in the dumps. And he's about ready to kill himself over AMC. And he operates on that. He goes from one extreme to the other in the emotional spectrum. So that makes him bipolar. It doesn't make him a bad guy, but he acts on his emotions, and he shouldn't. If he's going to win this game, he has to act on their emotions. I promise you right now, Adam Aaron is probably shitting. They've been waiting for somebody to see what we've uncovered here on this channel, that they were selling unregistered shares of APE and giving it away and paying dividends using AMC's cash to pay a dividend to a stock that didn't exist. If I had the knowledge, and he claims that he's talked to the FBI, talked to the Delaware DOJ, that's where the crime has been committed, in Delaware. Oh, all right, I'm back. What y'all want to talk about? Y'all got 4 more minutes, and I'm turning this son of a bitch off. We've been live for 2 hours. And I appreciate all 230 of y'all. Hit the like button, by the way. What? Smoked it all? That's when I'm single again. Dan Aykroyd. I watched a video about Dan Aykroyd. They were interviewing him concerning the movie that he made, Trading Days, with Eddie Murphy. It's 30 years old now. And so they were asking him concerning that. And he was explaining that what the movie is about is the Duke brothers, or whatever their names were, the Dutch brothers, or whatever they were. They were short orange juice. And Dan Aykroyd's character figured it out. And he taught Eddie Murphy that they were short on orange juice and that they could squeeze the shorts. And it became squeezed orange juice. But they were talking about squeezing the shorts in the movie. And when I seen that today, I was like, well, I'll be damned. I didn't catch that when I seen it 30 years ago. Open a dispensary. I've had a dispensary. Me and my brother had like 5 of them. Got me in trouble too. They're not going to get that reverse stock split. I'm going to tell you what, it's to the point now where AMC shareholders are practically at the stage where if this reverse stock split happens, they will burn AMC down. That we are that fed up with his bullshit. I'm not advocating violence. I'm just saying how I feel. I'm going to feel like burning the motherfucker down. I'm tired of you cheating me like this. Yeah, it's AMC versus AMC, and AMC shorting AMC. I did a video 2 months ago where I just asked the question. I wonder if Adam Aaron is loaning his shares out, because we constantly getting bombarded with turn off your share lending. I said, but what about them? Where do you think these shares on Stocko Tracker come from every day? 100,000 shares of AMC. That's out of their portfolio. They loaned it to Citadel. The next day, Citadel returns it back to them. They can loan them over to Morgan Stanley. And the next day, they can return them, and they loan them out the next day, and it just goes in a big old circle. They got to have the reverse stock split. They got to. Why? They have to drop the float. The scam does not work when the float is reached its maximum. This scam was able to run because it had unlimited shares. All right. This too. But the thing here is they can only use their notes to convert into AMC shares or they're apes into AMC shares, if they do a reverse stock split, they have to lower the float first for the scam to work. I don't think, I could be wrong, and somebody will tell me tomorrow, but I don't think they can convert their notes while AMC's float is at its max. I believe AMC has to drop its float and then they can convert because AMC will have the shares to give them. Right now, we're at max and they're saying, we need AMC shares. And he's going, well, I ain't got none. Here's some ape shares. They're the same thing. Let's see something here. I'm ready. I'm ready to call it quits, but there you go. Who wants to come on and holler? Who wants to come on and say, I'm so sick of Adam Aaron shit? Or defending? I don't understand that statement, Lil Coin. 1 million share candle today at 4. 1 million share. Oh, 1 million volume on a share candle? 1 million? In what time frame? I mean, it makes a big difference if it was on a 1 minute time frame and in 1 minute 1 million shares came in. AA better be going to find him all right, we got a taker. Better be finding him a country that don't have extradition. What's happening?
What's happening, my brother?
Are.
My brother, CSI, I love you, man. You are a true champion, a true trooper.
We do what we do, and we all do what we can.
Let me tell you about Adam Aaron. I've been in this since February 4th, 2021. And I just bought in. I didn't think I was really going to be investing. I didn't know what I was doing. Put my first $500 in. By the time I spent $5,000, Canadian too. I'm Canadian, by the way. By the time March came around and June showed up, and I seen my account go up to $35,000, I still didn't sell. I didn't. There's a lot of people out there who have paid a lot more than me.
Yeah,
a lot more. I'm in the $8 to $5 range, right?
I don't ever say what my price average is.
Mine is down low.
I tell everybody that I bought in at 42, and I bought some the other day, so I got them at 4. So I've moved my cost average down. But there's a lot of people that can't do that,
Yeah.
And we fight for them too.
We got to fight for each other. In the long run, I cannot trust this team of AA. There was a point at one point. I mean, it might have been in the early days that I was like, yeah, we going for Adam Aaron, but we can't do that anymore, man. There's too much evidence out there that he has screwed all of us over. And not just this company, AMC, but many other companies.
Well, it's like I heard the Marine say, and he shows charts that say, this has happened everywhere he goes. It's the same bad actors. It's Apollo. Yeah. It's Citigroup. It's Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan. It's always the same bad actors with them. I see you, William. I'll catch you next.
Citigroup is very corrupt, and I think all of us know that nowadays.
Oh,
so, I mean, their time is coming.
Their time is coming, and like I'm trying to say something to everybody without saying it. Sometimes you have to just be listening to what I'm saying. But in this situation, up until today, what I found today, Citigroup has done nothing wrong. there's no conspiracy on Citigroup's level with recommending APE to Adam Aaron. That was a good idea. And it was a good idea. The board felt it was a good idea. It didn't get fucked up until Adam Aaron got a hold of it. Then it got messed up.
Yeah.
My point in saying that is we can't get rid of Adam Aaron. Only they can. So you don't want to be talking to the very people that you're trying to say, hey, you need to get rid of this motherfucker now. And you calling them a criminal with him. See? So you have to pick a fight. We're going to deal with Adam Aaron this week. And motherfucker, it might take 2 or 3 weeks, but we'll get to you next, Philip.
Well, thank you for having me on. And you know what, everyone out there, have some faith.
You said you from Canada?
Yeah, I'm from Alberta, Canada.
Do y'all need some immigrants? Because I think in Chicago, they're full in Chicago, they're full in New York, they're full in California. We're looking for some places to send some immigrants.
Up in Quebec, we just allow them to walk over the border like it ain't no thing. It ain't different. They coming from the south.
Yeah. I'm like, I see them too. They're swimming across that way. I'm like, why would I swim and get all wet? I can just go right up the road here, cross that bridge. There ain't nobody going to stop me.
You know,
all right, my friend.
At one point, I think there's nothing against immigrants. It's just everyone's got to take their turn and do it right. That's about it.
Do it. Do the process. Just do the process.
But
do you realize in order for an immigrant to become an American, they got to pass the civics test. They have to know the branches of government. They have to know the role of each particular part of the Congress. They have to know all that before they can get a green card.
They also have
to Americans don't even know that. And you expect somebody else to learn that shit, and we don't even teach it here.
Right.
All right, my friend. Let's see what William has to say. You have a blessed evening.
You as well, sir.
I'm gonna start using this platform as long as it lets me do it, where I can bring y'all on and let y'all be the focus of the show and not just me.
You know what? I appreciate you having me on, and I'm sure many more will as well.
All right, let me make sure William is looking up. Have a blessed day. There he is.
Howdy.
Did you think I was going to finally get to you?
Yeah, of course. You know, the thing is I actually commented on your channel, and I actually had to revise this several times. But do you want to hear it out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This was actually a proposal that I had sent to AMC, and I had to revise it several times. But my proposal was a conversion from APU to 8 preferred equity units to 8 preferred shares. That would change. Now, hold on with me just for a moment.
I feel what you're saying.
Okay, so my proposal is the conversion of APU to 8 preferred equity units and APEs. So from APU to APEs. Mm-hmm. AMC preferred equity shares would be restricted with a ticker change that would force close short positions with 47 million FTDs on day one. Day one, we had 47 million. 47 million.
47 million. And then he says
the Cayman Islands.
He makes a comment that nobody complained that they didn't get their ape. You're a fucking ass. 47 million people was crying. Or people with shares was crying.
But the thing is if they're so keen on this reverse stock split, why not do a 100-for-1 reverse stock split on them preferred apes? See how they like that shit. But the thing is, you turn off the options, make it non-tradable, and you can only convert it. No voting rights other than conversion.
I did a video 3 or 4 months ago, and I told my Discord, I said, I think I figured out what they're fixing to do. And they said, what? I said, they're fixing to do a reverse stock split. They're fixing to do 100-to-1 reverse stock split. Why? Because each ape unit is 1/100th. So it takes 100 apes to equal one preferred.
Exactly.
You know? I know exactly where you're coming from. And I feel you.
Yeah, but the thing is you know, they're wanting their dilution, but why not go ahead and have it up to a point to where you convert? Not only do you get 100 common, AMC gets 100 common, and then you also authorize 1 more preferred share, and you return one preferred share. So they get 2 preferred shares back. They get 100 they can issue. And then not only that, but a perk for holding these shares.
Right.
You know how they have Twitter Blue and how companies can actually sign up for it?
Right.
Imagine this. Elon sets up something like Rotten Tomatoes, right? To where we actually have an immutable voice. Because you remember through all these movies that they release, all these woke bullshit movies that they release, we don't like them. We want them gone.
Yes. People get mad at me. I was going to say it. I haven't had a chance to say it. But Disney, don't bring your fucking movie to all theaters because we're not going to show it. It's hurt the company. I don't give a fuck about hurting the company. You have to stand for principle.
Yeah. And the thing is if they were to actually set up something like that, and the only way that you can actually sign up for something like that is by linking your broker to Twitter Blue. Because who else hates the SEC more than us? Elon Musk. Elon Musk hates the SEC. And exactly what they did to him whenever this company started, getting something like this set up, they would be able to blow the shorts out of the water. Yeah. Not only that, but like I said, the perk in order to hold it is more on a cultural level to where we'd actually be able to fight back against all these snobby fucks over in Hollywood. Hollywood is full of themselves. Not to mention, you remember whenever, I don't know if you actually ever watched the Sonic movie whenever it first came out, but I guess Jim Carrey decided to pitch in his little thing to where he actually insulted the fan base.
What did he say?
The thing is, he says, if you don't like the design, don't watch the movie, pretty much.
Well, you know, that's what these motherfuckers keep telling us. If you don't like that CEO, sell. No, bitch, I shouldn't have to sell my shit. Yeah. He's a piece of shit.
But the thing is the perk in holding that, they'd also be able to get a share count. They actually don't have to physically post your thing, but they have to, in order for you to get access to this Twitter Blue kind of retail thing to where we can actually review movies with immutable voice saying, Hollywood, you're doing a bad job. That would be an excellent idea. You know, I actually brought this idea up to Boss Blunts, and he didn't like it at all. He thought, he was like, yeah, you already know. But the thing is he completely, without even listening to me, he said it would take hundreds of millions of dollars and thousands of hours to program it. The fucking program is already there with Twitter. It's already there with Twitter.
Okay, see people like that. I approach people like that with statements like, don't tell me what can't be done. Tell me how to do it. Tell me how to do it. That's bullshit. There's a way to make this work. You just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's a pretty interesting idea.
And the thing is whenever I was trying to bring this idea up, yeah, his community just tried to fucking rip me a new one. Well, fuck that shit. No.
Yeah.
The fucking stuff is already there. We have the ability to set something like this up. And if people don't like it, that they, it's like to publicly post how many shares they have, well, put it like a fucking RPG and make it into a video game.
There's all kind of solutions to make a plan work. I mean, before a plan becomes a plan, it's an idea. And then people get together and they create the plan to make it work. Or you throw it to the side like some people would do, and I don't even want to hear it. Listen, what you were talking about with the 100 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. You talk about putting a fucking to them. That would put a fucking to them.
Exactly. But the thing is, don't touch comment. If they want to dilute comment, by all means.
That's what I'm trying to stop. We don't have to do a reverse stock split. If you ask the shareholders right now how many people would participate in a stock buyback program, we would do that. Because being a part of the stock buyback program would cause the price of the stock to go up as we started removing the shares of common off the market. But then we'd have to put a provision in that says, but he can't, once we buy them back, he can't just automatically sell them.
Yeah, not only that, but with they can actually set it up as though every year. So for the 2 preferred shares that you just returned, they can issue that as a dividend Imagine that.
Yes.
Because if you can convert yearly,
You sound
then
like
you have long-term capital gains.
you sound like your plan and my plan. They have a lot of similarities to them. All right. That you could do this as part of a dividend. All right. And it's not a dividend such as taken from the profits, because a dividend you take from your profits and you pay your shareholders a dividend. That's not the case with this type of dividend. This would be what you're talking about. This is going to be the conversion dividend.
Yeah. But the thing is you could still convert, but by converting, you issue AMC 100 shares and you return one preferred share, and then you issue one new preferred share, which will increase the float that they can issue for the next one.
I think what you're talking about, and if you took what you're talking about and what I talk about, they would work. All right. But we have to get rid of Adam Aaron, because Adam Aaron's not going to do it.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, I would actually never sell my shares at that point, because on a cultural level, I'll be able to fight back against Hollywood, because I have other shares in other baskets. I'm more than willing to hold my shares all the way down to almost nothing.
Fuck, dude, I'm down 90%. I mean, how much more can it go down?
Yeah, because on a cultural level, we'd be able to actually, because whether they know it or not, AMC would be able to raise as much money as it wants. But at the same time, it is the leadership. The leadership is just not listening to us, and they've completely bypassed us all.
No, but I tell you what he will do. He'll manipulate you and say, oh, listen, I hear y'all, and we care, and we're going to give it to you without any fucking Vaseline, too.
Yeah. But like I said,
I just made the reference that I'm down 90% from my original buy of AMC, which was around 42. I'm almost 90% down. That is not the focus of my anger. That's not the focus of why I do things. That's not why I make videos. It's not because I'm upset that I'm down 90%, even though I am. I'm upset, and I'm doing my videos now to uncover what this man has done and made all of us go through for the past 2 years. And I'm sorry, that don't equal 1.1 for every 7.5 shares.
Yeah, because I've been buying since basically February, around the earliest of February, especially when Tim Pool actually first brought all this up, and that's when I actually got in.
When you was talking about your proposal, did you send that to the judge?
No, I didn't. But
it's not too late if you wanted to. If you felt you had something to contribute to the settlement, now you're not objecting to it anymore. You're going to be offering a new proposed settlement, like
exactly. Because I actually sent an email.
Not that I'm saying theirs is wrong. I just would like to see this incorporated in it as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, as I always have, I like the stock. I just don't like the management anymore.
Listen, I can't stand a thief. I can't stand a thief. And exactly. This man, I'm telling y'all people, what I'm uncovering, where you've had 5 billion apes this whole time. And you've been selling and giving them away to your friends before they even registered with ComputerShare. He was giving them shares away and paying dividends to them.
Yeah, but the proposal I brought up, it would change the ticker.
Okay, fuck, that's happened. That's happened before. BBBY is now what? BBBYQ or some shit. Didn't they just change their ticker?
Yeah, of course they filed for bankruptcy though, so I guess it's still going through the courts. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with it. I don't know if they're going to restructure
it. A ticker change is no big deal. All that gets done at one snap of a finger.
Yeah, because anybody thinking that this will actually force close short positions at this point, they're fooling themselves. Because even with the DTCC and GME, and the Dividend, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all remember what happened to that, and now the DTCC dropped that ball. And I have plenty of GME shares too.
It's just, look, they could have been stealing a little bit along, and nobody would have ever known. Nobody would have ever said anything. If you would have been skimming $1 million a year off of a $1 billion company, you know, nobody would have even missed that. But they took too big a bite of that apple. Something happened. They had to come out and reveal Ape. Oh, they have to have Ape come out so that we can get a conversion and do a reverse stock split. This doesn't work unless the float gets dropped. The people that are holding those convertible notes, they're waiting on AMC's float to drop so they can convert their notes over to AMC shares.
Yeah, not to mention, it seems like almost every other day that I'm also seeing something filed from Antera as well. I mean, that's basically the next Mudrick, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, oh no. All they did was they stepped in and took Mudrick's place in this time. Mudrick's over there in Highcroft. So they got Antara over there. Boy, look, I'm going to sock it to boy. Al from Boston and his team, y'all are the legal avenue. Y'all ought to be hitting fucking the Delaware DOJ with this bullshit. This motherfucker was selling unsecured, unregistered shares. That's a crime.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I even put it in one of these other channels as like, I know that Adam's PP don't work anymore, and he probably just wants to prematurely blow his load all over Wall Street.
All right. Let's see something. I'm going to do this one more time. Anybody else want to come on? You got 8 minutes. We'll have you come on.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut it off in 8 minutes because I'm tired. I want to lay down with the dogs and get fleas.
Yeah. I just kind of figured I'd throw in my 2 cents because.
Hey, man, you're more than welcome to come on here. You know, I'm not like that.
Yeah, it seems like it's almost like an echo chamber at this point where everybody's just regurgitating the same fucking narrative.
Well, I was feeling good because there's no news coming in, so there's nothing to talk about. So I don't have to do a fucking video because this is my job. I get to take a day off from making a fucking video because there's nothing to talk about. And then this shit comes up.
Yeah. Yeah, but I did kind of freeze up during that thing. But if you had actually listened to me or at least heard me out,
what?
Florence? Yeah, but I'm not even sure about that guy, to be honest. I don't even know if he's day trading it because whenever it's like link your broker and he's like, well, then the shady part came out. So I don't know if he's day trading it or what.
Well,
I know there's a lot of people out there that are swing trading.
I can listen to their narrative, and I can tell whether they're day trading it or not. Like I heard one YouTuber talk about he was green on Ape, and I thought to myself, that's not possible. You can't be green on Ape if you got Ape at $6.95 like we all did or thereabouts. You can't be green. Now, you could be averaging down, but for you to be green, you would have to have bought 3 or 4 times as many shares as you have. In other words, for 1,000 shares, I would have to buy 4,000 shares to bring that price down to where I'm green. So he didn't do that. So he's day trading it. I figured it out. He's day trading it.
Yeah. And at the same time, like another thing is, there's a lot of people that ripped on Trey, and I can understand why. But the thing is like I even heard some things that were going on there were people like stalking his mom and shit.
Right.
So that's not cool. That's not cool.
Wrong. Don't bring my family into this shit. This is between me and you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got fucked up people in this world.
Exactly.
who will go and
I
try to
do
find
feel
him.
sorry for him. I do feel sorry for him. He's not going to have a normal life going forward. It sucks. It really does.
In 2 years, 3 years, motherfuckers won't even remember who Trey Trades was.
Well, I mean, we will, but
I'll never forget Trey Trades.
Yeah, but you won't be. But you won't be looking for him.
yeah.
Like you got some psychotic motherfuckers
If I
who
did
really believe that Trade Trades is the reason for their $50,000 loss.
and he did not actually delete his videos. They're unlisted. And
Yeah,
I know why he's keeping them on his channel.
Now I think at
Legal
some
reasons.
point, I believe at some point, if you delete them, that would be deleting evidence. So I think his lawyer probably instructed him not to delete them. I've got videos on mine that I've unlisted because basically, whenever the community as a whole disagrees with something, then I will pull it down. But other than that, I let things fly. I'm just I'm off the cuff. I don't give a fuck what I say.
But like I said, I wish him the best, but I do feel for him. I understand that his life going forward, at least for the time being, is going to suck.
Oh, that's why I don't talk bad shit about Trey. Let me tell you why I quit talking shit, because I was mad at Trey too. Trey's a young man.
He's learning.
And this trauma, because this is trauma to somebody like him. To think that you've got 1 million motherfuckers hating you is a lot for a young man to bear. And if the story was true about his dad, he doesn't have a dad right now to help him through this. So he's trying to feel things out. So I don't give him a hard time. You know, I leave him alone. But Adam Aaron, motherfucker,
he also made Trey made some good money off of this.
Sure he did.
And I think
I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because you know what? He sold himself. Right.
Yeah.
And when we're out here selling ourselves, yeah, you should get paid a little bit. Why not? And if you
that's what people get mad about. Oh, you doing this for views, motherfucker? I'm providing a service.
You do it for free, and I love that about you.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, look, they tell you if you cuss in the first 5 minutes or 3 minutes, they demonetize you. Right? Yeah. If you like, I'm smoking, that AI that sees me smoking and it would demonetize me.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I don't give a fuck. But I cannot give a fuck because I care about what I'm talking about. If I gave a fuck about this or what I said out my mouth because I'm worried about my monetization and shit, then my message wouldn't come across.
Yeah, of course. You're always going to send out your message, even if you're having a beer with it. And again, we're not allowed to do this, but I'm doing it.
That's what I say. Well, I take a sip of that beer, and all I got to do is put it in my mug. I can pour my beer in that mug and drink that, and everything would be fine on my YouTube video. But I don't, because I don't give a fuck.
You know, I think that's the best thing about you, CSI. You know, we love the fact that you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
I should have gave a fuck.
And you're a smart motherfucker who don't give a fuck. So you know what? You're on the fucking.
I was telling a story. I was telling a story the other night. I think I could have been high and thought I told y'all, but no, I didn't want to do it because I knew somebody was watching, so I didn't tell the story. But there was a time they called me and they said, "We need you to come up here and give a speech." Well, I was in prison, all right, and I was mopping the dormitory. Yep. And they called my name, and I said, "What's up?" They said, "They need you in the visiting shed." And I said, "For what?" And they said, "I don't know, something about the legislators." Well, the legislators had came from the Capitol to the prison, all right, and I had wrote a proposal called Louisiana Purchase, where I was trying to get the law changed in Louisiana as far as prisons with faith-based educations and stuff like that. Well, I wrote that proposal. And when I submitted it, what happened was the motherfucker ripped the cover off and he put a new cover on. And he still called it the fucking Louisiana Purchase, but he put his name there instead of mine.
Motherfucker.
Now, it brought such attention, the legislators came down from the Capitol to the prison we were at Angola. And they wanted to hear more about this faith-based proposal. Well, the guy who ripped my name off and put his on, he couldn't give the presentation because he didn't know the material. He didn't have the passion for it like I had. So what did they do? They ended up calling and saying, Bubby, they need you in the business shit. I said, for what? The legislators are here. They need you to go talk to them. And I got a standing ovation from when I got through speaking. Every legislator that was in that building stood up and was clapping. The warden was hollering, lock his ass up. They're going to throw me away forever for some of the shit I said because I didn't give a fuck. I done been to the darkest place in the world that you could possibly be. So I don't give nothing no more. Nothing can be worse than what I've been through. So I gave that speech, and two of the senators come up to me, and they said, man, you got a future with us. And I said, doing what? And they said, being a public interest speaker. Now, I was young. I was about 25, 27. And I said, what would I speak about? And he said, well, whatever we're trying to get a law passed, we would have you go in front of legislators and speak on that proposal for us. And I was like, well, I'm be honest with you. I said, I can't do it. And they said, why? And I said, in order for me to give you the presentation you just saw, I have to care about that topic. I cannot go and do a speech on how abortion is a good thing if I'm pro-life. Yeah. Now I can give the argument. I could take whichever stance you want me to take. Do you want me to be pro death penalty or do you want me to be anti? I can argue either position, but only one of them is going to have passion behind it. And she says she understood that. And the other lady that was there too, there was two of them, two lady senators. Do you realize one of them is now the speaker here in Louisiana and the other one was the mayor of Baton Rouge? And if I would have just sold my integrity and said, fuck yeah, I could talk about anything. You know, I could have been in great places. And I said, nah, I'm not willing to sell my integrity. I can't get up there and tell everybody on how late-term abortion on the day of the birth, you can kill this child. No, I can't speak on that. But if I could have been anybody in the world, you know. So I just stick to my passion and don't give a fuck.
You know what? Everyone's got to speak to their passion. Speak your truth. That's literally our labor. That's what we got. That's free. Is freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. Listen, there's one YouTuber with almost every video he puts out, he's wrong. His DD's just wrong.
We may know who that is.
I'm not going to mention his name, and I'm going to tell you why.
We probably know.
He doesn't mean any harm. All right. He doesn't mean to be wrong. He's just misinterpreting what he's reading or whatever the case may be. So there's no reason to get upset with that young man.
No.
Because he's wrong, but he doesn't mean to be wrong. Now there's some YouTubers who are wrong and they mean to be wrong.
And they're purposely doing it.
Deceive me and you and William, just like Adam Aaron's been deceiving us for the past 2 years. That is their purpose. Yeah. And I will come out on them motherfuckers every chance I get.
Yeah. I mean, I had a couple more things if you want to hear them out.
Yeah, for sure. It will.
Yeah.
I don't know about this whole Bud Light and Target thing that's going on right now. How everybody's boycotting it, and it's just what's the real message here? I mean, you saw that stock just drop like a rock.
Yeah, I mean that was a bad business decision.
Yeah, well, not only that, but who's really pushing it? Because you have to remember who took a position after they let Tucker Carlson go. Yeah. I mean, who's going to be buying these shares up cheap to push the ESG narrative?
Yeah,
we might find ourselves in a time where what we're doing right now won't be allowed, and that's what I worry about is the freedom.
Yeah, And
In my paperwork, I see when you play in chess or checkers, by the way. I heard somebody say, well, Denzel Washington said it. This is chess, not checkers, motherfucker. All right, well, let me tell you a secret that I learned in jail. You got to have just as much strategy to play a game of checkers as you do chess. Now, chess is a little more complicated, but you just don't move checker pieces around on the board. Somebody knows what they're doing is going to beat your ass.
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's what these YouTubers who mean to do wrong, they are purposely trying to move checker pieces on this board to harm us. And I just can't allow that to happen. They threatened to sue me. I had one threaten to sue me. I had one threaten to come down here and see me. And I said, bitch, you will leave in a body bag.
yeah. When I met Trey in Dallas, the one thing that I had intended to go there for was just to basically tell him my story. And the thing is, you know, like a week before the lockdowns, in this same room that I've had to fix up for the past 2 years, I had a friend commit suicide in my house a week before the lockdowns. And you know what really, really like messes with me mentally? The dude looks like Lou from Wall Street.
See, that's what people don't understand. It's little connections that you make like that. My friend died, Lou from Wall Street. That could send a psychotic son bitch over an edge.
Well, the
And
thing
go
is,
look for Lou in that park with them ducks.
mentally, I've had to strengthen every bit of my resolve because instead of hiring a contractor, I actually did all this myself.
That's why I'm getting these emails and people are showing me their brokerage statements. And I ask them, don't do that, please. I don't need to know y'all's. I don't open a man's wallet, and I don't go
every
on his
dollar
purse.
went into fixing this house and every.
Do you realize how much money people have invested in this play?
Yeah.
Individual now. They got some people that have $500,000.
Exactly.
Do you not think that they will knock Adam Ayers' ass off the next chance they get?
Well, that's another reason for from what I was researching online as well. If you look at those sweaters that he was wearing, could have been a bulletproof vest under there.
Somebody said that. I think they proved that he's wearing a bulletproof vest. He needs to. I mean, I'm not advocating violence. I'm just saying, just like I said earlier,
You're advocating.
Discovery needs
you're
to come.
You're advocating safety because that's what he's doing.
I have seen the consequences for what he has done.
Yeah.
And people look to hurt you because you have hurt them, not the money wise. There's one person who talks to me about how their wife feels and how much trouble they have in the home because of their obsession with AMC. And the obsession with AMC is just motherfucker run so we can get our money and get out. All right. But we're stuck in this play and he's obsessed and he says he has problems at home and he's wanting to talk about this. And I'm thinking, that's why I'm single.
Yeah, but also my proposal, like I just told you about, I honestly believe that it's a good proposal. And honestly,
that's why I told you if you just put the name of the court, your address and stuff, and turn it into a letter and mail it to the lawyers, it becomes a part of this settlement.
Okay.
Just like I did. I mean, I can talk about what I wanted to do, or I put it in a letter form, mailed it off to them, and said, I would like to see this done instead. And that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. That's all any of us have to do. Very few people have suggested, I object to the 1 for $7.5. Okay, well, what do you want instead? That's the judge's question. I told her I want these motherfuckers to pay me every month until this bitch squeezes. You're gonna pay me a dividend. First off, we don't have $100 million to give away to a lawsuit. That's number one. So if AMC is fixing to have to pay out a $130 million lawsuit, then we need to figure out the best way to use that $130 million. And one way is I tell you what, Your Honor, we'll settle for the 200 million, and instead of paying it out to shareholders, we buy back AMC's float, lower the float that way. That'll give him a few more shares that he can sell to make it through the rest of 2022. I still got my shares.
Yeah, but we should be given that option to buy back for us, not for the freaking any institutions.
I would
buy another fucking $5,000 tomorrow.
Yes. Now, see, and I'm going to share with you my investing strategy, because people ask me all the time. No, I don't have $100,000 to be investing day trading and shit. But here's what I do. All right. Who's on a budget? Does anybody live on a budget? Because I live on a budget. I have a strict budget. I spend this much a day, period. Now, if I can save $2, if I can stop going in the store and not buy that bag of donuts for $2, then at the end of the day, I know how much money I didn't spend. So I get to take that budget money that I had and I send it over to one of them little quick Weeble or Moo or something. And I buy a couple extra shares. I treat myself to that.
Yeah.
Some people buy Starbucks. And they're laughing. I'm laughing. I'm like, Starbucks is $7 for $15 for a fucking cup of coffee.
I'd rather buy beer.
How about? Oh no, hold on.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, one stock I was thinking about, or a couple stocks I was thinking about, Intel, not so much, but Intel is supposed to receive a low, and I have been looking at the data charts on that one.
Intel, the computer company,
yes,
the chip maker.
Yes, I've actually been doing
some long time since I've heard Intel's name.
Yes, but the thing is Raja Kaduri was part of the board, and he actually helped them get into the GPU market. Not only that, but their new Xeon processor has 64 gigabytes of onboard RAM on the actual processor.
Are you familiar with that stock? Do you know if they have a preferred share?
No, I haven't seen anything along the lines of preferred shares, but I do know that they issue out a monthly dividend. But right now, I wouldn't invest into it because from what I'm seeing, possible $17 range from 30. And then if you also, there's another one I'm looking into getting. And last year or the year before, it's either last year or the year before, it was trading around $17. But another one I was looking at is AGNC. It's a REIT company. It's a REIT company, and they pay 12 cents per month per share. And they've been in the game since, I think, 2009. And BlackRock does own quite a few shares, but I don't know if BlackRock could actually dump those shares. That's where I'm in a little bit of a question on that one.
Now, my trading situation, I want to know. I want a company that has a preferred share because I'm going to start investing in dividend stocks. All right. And preferred shares, let me tell y'all something. My research on preferred shares has led me to believe they
will not let it fall.
The easiest fucking money that you can make in the stock market is with a preferred share.
Yeah.
Now, Adam Aaron's fucked it up. We don't have a dividend tax.
Yeah.
We don't know what.
But if we had a dividend, if that son of a bitch paid out a 50-cent dividend every month, it'd be worth keeping. It's worth keeping.
Yeah. 100% it would be. Because it would have value.
Yeah. My question is when is GME going to start issuing dividends? But at the same time, AGNC, the way the taxes work on that one is as though it's a standard paycheck because they do pay out monthly. Any share that pays out monthly is pretty much considered standard income almost.
Look, if Intel had a preferred share and it pays out 25-cent dividend a month or every quarter.
Intel GPUs are also new. So
let's just say they pay out every quarter.
I'm replying to John Guan or
one as the dividend date approaches, the preferred share price goes up. Why? Because there's a demand for the stock or the preferred share because of the dividend fixing to be paid. So you would buy APE right now, because I done figured out that the baseline for APE is $1.59. It's not going to go up or down until we get a court ruling on something. The only thing that causes APE to move is what's its value. It's a convertible share. So only on the news of conversion can APE go up.
You know, I don't
Go
know
in a
about all
reverse.
of you, but you know, I could
I
have
agree
made
with
a
you, John.
good chunk of change if I was able to sell my ape when you know what, when ape came out. Being Canadian, we had a 6-day block on trading with Wealth Simple. So I saw my stock go from 6 to 10 to frickin' straight down, and then I'm like, well, I'm not selling, right? But I mean,
Right.
I lost out like $7 grand, I would say, easy, just on that. And you know what? I feel like if Adam was in any kind of a fucking good space where he was trying to help out us apes, he put that out for us to sell right away.
Sure.
But
And if I remember a couple of YouTubers who were pushing, I'm selling all my ape and I'm buying AMC.
yeah,
And I'm thinking to myself, why would you do that? Now you're losing 2-1 if you do that. If you sell ape, you need 2 ape to equal 1 AMC right now.
Well,
So you lost half his portfolio there.
sure, but now look where we're at. Now, if this judge comes back and says this was illegal, where do you think ape is going to go?
Okay. If what's illegal?
The ape shares being no, the way I said it is a little different, but if ape was not legal to be distributed the way it was, especially to Ontario, right?
Okay, now that's two different things.
Yeah,
He's distributed it a couple of times.
yeah,
He started it off with us.
yeah.
There's no problem there. All right. It's when he sold to Ontario a problem come in.
Well, no, well, hold on. There should have been a problem because we're well over the float. This is our belief. Whether we can prove it or not.
Okay, but see, it's not what you believe, it's what you can prove.
Well, yeah, well, but 99% of the stock market is belief because no one would buy stuff unless they believe in it.
And that's another reason why I brought up if they were to actually make something like where they were to get with Elon Musk and create that review site, and the only way you can join it is by linking your broker. Yeah, they would get a share count because you would have to report to Twitter how many shares you have. You don't have to publicly post it. They can actually set up, like I said, they could set up something.
Well,
even though I would be transparent about it.
I'm joining an automated trading platform where I can put my bot. But in order for me to do that, I have to hook my brokerage firm to it. All right. So that the bot can operate through my brokerage firm.
Yeah.
So there's examples of when that's not a bad thing. I mean, my dad is one he will not give his social security number out over the telephone. He just ain't going to do it. And I'm like, Dad, if a motherfucker wanted your social security number, he don't need you to say it over a telephone. So when people start talking about security issues, like what you're talking about with submitting your brokerage and so forth, no, it's not. It happens every day.
Mm-hmm.
There's companies that do what you're talking about every day.
100%.
You have to connect your brokerage account. I could connect my brokerage account to my trading view account.
I'm in Canada and we have some of the strictest laws on trading. And yet recently, we'll say it, Well, Simple decided they're going to open up share loaning. And I was like, right away, no, you're not borrowing my shares.
Right.
No freaking way.
Now, in a perfect world,
it seems to be
that would be all right.
But Canada had a law against that, and literally recently has changed.
Master cash accounts, right?
cash accounts, right? Yeah, I got a cash account. I got all 3 accounts. I got cash, TFSA, RRSP, all cash accounts, no margin. And now I can lend out my shares,
play options,
which was not an option before. So I don't know why all of a sudden this just opened up here in Canada. I was kind of like, this seems too convenient.
They got in Delaware, where our court case is, they have a law that they voted on, and if it passes, it goes into effect August 1st or August 4th. I want to say August 1st. It goes into effect August 1st. And if it does, then Adam America can drop this lawsuit just like that. Because what he's done is not illegal. It's not a fiduciary violation, according to the new law. Now, I would argue habeas corpus, or in a criminal trial, I would holler, wait a minute, you can't do that. He's grandfathered in. We've had these.
Yeah, we're already involved.
We're in the middle of this lawsuit. You just can't holler, never mind, this new law's passed. So we might have to be fighting that battle soon.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. Someone just commented and they say, I remember when you proposed this to Boss when he streamed in the Santa Surfer. They didn't even listen before bashing.
When you go against people's narrative, they shut you down.
That made me feel like shit. It really did.
Of course it did. And that's fucked up. That's why I won't do that. Now, the only time I cut people off and say, whoa, okay, is when they come on and they start talking about they want to stab Adam Aaron in the heart 47 times. Hold up, man. We can't talk like that.
Yeah, I mean.
But this kind of talk,
I do want
this
discovery.
Is channel.
At the very least, I do want discovery, but at the same time, I got other stocks that I'm in, and I've actually GNS. I knew that was a pump and dump the moment that it actually hit, and they even on the Reddit boards, they deleted the post that had the interview.
I busted Roger Hamilton's ass. You got 700,000 followers and you get 1,000 views on a video. You're full of shit. Those are bought subscribers. They're behind a con.
Yeah. The second that he said we're bringing in an influencer, that was like, yeah, I'm out at $7, even though I bought like 300 shares at 60 cents. So I made a good bit of chunk of change and put that shit in HYMC.
That's right. HYMC, it's been a big letdown for me because I was going to use that as a dividend play. I was just going to take 10,000 shares and set it off to the side, and every time they paid a dividend,
that was my goal too, was to reach 10,000 shares.
Well, if I got 10,000 shares, you're about to do a 25-to-1 reverse stock split.
Well, it's either 10 for 1 or 25 for 1. I don't know which way they're going.
One or the other. They don't know which one they want to do yet.
But at this point,
but let's just say 10 for 1. I just went from 10,000 to 1,000 shares. Do that to me again, and I go from 1,000 to 100.
Yeah, because I was in Mullen, and I was in around that dollar range. So the second it hit 6 cents, and then I went from 1,000 shares down to 40. So I went down quite a bit, but I did get my money back through GNS, so that I was at least able to.
You can make money on any stock, including AMC, as manipulated as it is. You would have to change your trading rules, though. You would have to change your philosophy of buy and hold forever. You have to realize that when it's down low, that's when I buy. When it runs up about a good 8-10%, sell. Wait for it to fall back down because you know it's going to work its rhythm. You know that. See, you could do that. I just choose not to. It's too much effort to sit there all day long and look at that fucking chart, waiting on buys and shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell my AMC either. I want to be an AMC holder for the rest of my life. But shit's got to change.
Yeah, in all honesty, I think that they need some fresh blood in there. I really do. Some fresh minds that will actually be open to ideas as well.
Let's see. Who we gonna put in there as CEO? Y'all want the Mandalorian to be CEO? See, that's why they can't ask motherfuckers. Well, if we put somebody on the board from retail, who would y'all want? Do you realize how many people would vote for people like fucking Bigums or Boss Blunts? People that have absolutely no care in their heart for retail at all, but they believe them stupid motherfuckers.
You know, in all honesty, just put Elon in there.
That's what I said. I'm like, hey, I did videos and said, Elon, here's 5 reasons why Elon Musk should buy AMC.
Oh, that would just be hilarious. Just like you can either show up for work or you can work from home making nothing.
If Elon Musk had AMC, we'd have charging ports in every AMC theater. Why? Because he's got an electric car vehicle company. All right. So he's going to push for the electric vehicle ports. All right. There's all kind of things. I come up with like 6 reasons why Elon would want to buy. Free advertisement in 10,000 screens 5 times a day on your Tesla vehicles and updates and shit like that. SpaceX and what they're doing.
Yeah.
10,000 movie theater screens.
I especially love the thing, and this guy definitely left a comment. Is like, let that sink in. How he walked in there with a sink.
Oh yeah, let that sink in. Yes, I like that.
That was absolutely hilarious.
Him walking in with that sink. I sat there so many times and watched him do that, and I'm thinking, well, okay, what message is he sending? Because there's different messages that can be received from him walking in with the sink. They done stole everything, including the sink. He had to bring his own sink in. That they done stole everything. Donahue George. You know, I was going to say Donahue George. I was waiting to see if anybody else would say it first. Donahue George would be a good person. He's got the experience. He's got investigation experience. He's not going to let nobody bullshit him. I would say Donahue would be a good representative for retail.
Yeah. One other thing that I also need to point out is how Adam Aaron actually pointed out that AMC was free. Was it? I mean, there's a cost average on my broker.
Yes. Thing is, when you did at the money offerings with Antara and the rest of them, they didn't pay that 40% like we did. That's what gives the first set of the dividend apes, that's what gives them their voting power. Is it's 40% of my fucking money's tied up in that stock. That's why I get to vote on AMC proposals. Antara did not do nothing. It cost them 68 cents to be able to vote in an election.
Yeah. And
then you selling off afterwards.
And even for that one for 100 reverse stock split on ape.
I thought that's what they were fixing to do.
I would actually love that, especially if they threw in, because you're giving up theoretically 99 of your shares, just throwing in a little itty bitty dividend. I don't care what it is.
Yeah, hey, and then yes, tubers ought to not have a problem with that. You don't have a problem with a 10-to-1. What the fuck? Let's do a 100-to-1. Because technically, if you are going to convert ape into AMC, you have to first get the ape units and turn them into ape shares.
Yeah.
See, ape units are not ape shares. Computer share holds 10 million ape shares. And now you've got 1 billion little apes out there working. But it takes 100 of them little bitty apes to make one preferred share.
Yeah, and
that's the truth.
And by restricting the shares, making them restricted, meaning you cannot buy them or sell them, you can only convert.
That's right.
They wouldn't be able to pull the shenanigans that they've been doing.
No, unless they just keep giving it away to their friends. Like one person, if they drop that float and they can start doing conversions, they'll be getting free AMC shares. That's what this means. When this float drops to 100 and what, 44 million?
I think it was like 146 million, somewhere around there.
146 million. Now he has close to 400 million shares at his disposal.
What's
going to happen? what's going to happen is your convertible notes are going to say, we want the shares, because they have to locate them AMC shares. And now he's got shares to give them. Right now, he don't have shares to give them. If they say we want to convert, he says we can't. We have to do a reverse stock split first. They fucked themselves with this. And then it got exposed. I just can't say it. There ain't really nothing else to say about this case. You were selling and giving away unregistered shares, and you was making AMC shareholders pay a dividend on that, and he didn't even exist. So who was pocketing all this money? And how many ape shares has he sold? Because I done found 44 million. We are 44 million. I can prove it over the float in ape right now. I can prove it. So when you talk about synthetics, I can prove beyond a reasonable doubt there are at least 44 million ape
And
out
it's
there.
mostly the brokers that are doing this too. And the brokers and market makers.
Well,
All that
now
rehabilitation, man.
let's get something clear. I hear the yes tubers doing that right now. Okay. What the brokers are doing is something totally different. Every time I hit that buy button, they sell to me. They're going to be on the hook for that coming up soon.
Yeah.
But right now, Adam Aaron does not get a pass because the brokers are guilty of doing it.
No. Of
I'm
course.
going to bust his ass because of what he's done. I'm telling y'all, he's made probably close to $1 billion off these unregistered ape shares. I'm willing to bet half my AMC on it. You can't protect them at this stage. Not with this document that's came out. There's no protection anymore. He's been caught selling unregistered shares. There's 44 million, at least 44 million ape shares that should not be out there because they weren't created when he sold them or gave them away. When Wanda exercised their Class Bs, they had preferred shares too, the same amount of preferred shares. That's not possible. It wasn't created at the time. They paid a dividend on it. All right, my back's starting to hurt. What time is it? Good God, it's 3 o'clock in the morning.
It is pre-market.
Did we squeeze yet? Does anybody know if we
it looks like
squeezed?
we're up 0.22% in the pre-market. HYMC isn't even trading
I'm
yet.
fixing to go. Let me tell y'all what I'm fixing to do. I'm fixing to go right now. When I turn this off, I'm going to Twitter, and I'm going to tell. On Adam Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm going to Chancery Dailies. Me and her DM. She don't DM often. She likes, I don't know why she don't like me, but I'm going to send her the pictures that AMC Ape was being traded before it was created. That makes it a RICO violation. That means they conspired to sell unregistered securities. And the judge should know that. Why? Does it apply to this case? Absolutely not. That's why I'm not going to approach the judge with it myself and say, Your Honor, take a look at this. No, I'm going to have somebody that she knows and is friends with and says, you know what? Take a look at this shit. They were selling this shit before it was even created. They probably got 1 billion extra apes out there. Adam Aaron. Or Silverback. Motherfucker, he needs to be called a goldback because that motherfucker's made of gold now. I'm telling y'all, I bet you Adam Aaron's made close to $200 million personally off of these ape shares.
Yeah, that and what was Ryan Cohen, who sold a bunch of Bed Bath & Beyond on that run up. I think I believe that he actually just left both retail and Ken Griffin holding the bag on that one.
That's the thing about other stocks and talking about other stocks is I can't, because I've been burned in this play. If I tell y'all that I believe Mullen is a good play, and I can tell y'all why I believe it's a good play, But for every reason that I could tell you that it's a good play, I could come up with something that we need to be careful of. Hold on, we don't trusted one CEO. We know where that got us.
Yeah.
Now before
It
we
has
even get
always been
started
leadership.
in Bed Bath and Beyond, before we even get started in Mullen, let's take a look at who our executive boards are and who they're connected to. We've learned, we went down this path before. So it would take too much effort to realize that you gotta research the entire board, make sure they're not corrupt, because I've learned my lesson in this. I've learned my lesson. Just because a company's financial statements are looking good does not mean they're not funneling out about $500 million a year out of this company. And I believe they are. I believe Adam Aaron makes Bernie Madoff look like a punk. I believe he makes Bernie Madoff look like a child.
Yeah.
With what Bernie pulled off, Adam Aaron has pulled off some shit over there at AMC. All right, well, it's time for me to get some sleep.
Well, I appreciate you listening.
No problem, and that's what I'm going to start doing. As long as this program here works, where I could just send y'all a link, and people come on and just share how they feel and talk. That's what we're here for. All right. So with that, love y'all. Be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video.